Welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of the Global Soul-Jah Podcast. I am with a legend, a griot, someone who I have the utmost respect for. She does everything with grace. She does everything with passion. She's a survivor, a pioneer, and a close personal friend of mine, Victoria Shaffer. You may know of Victoria Shaffer Designs, Vegas's own. Welcome. This has been 4 years in the making, and we are here.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
Welcome back to Vegas.
I'm back like I never left.
I know, you're here a lot.
I might take up residency.
I know.
Here.
I think you might need a place here.
I just might. Okay, so today we want to start touching on some of the history of you. My goal with this podcast is to be an inspiration, motivation for someone who may have a desire to pursue something, may just be stuck in the rut of something that they're passionate about, or just need some motivation, some inspiration to get through their day.
Right.
Obviously, you're not originally from Las Vegas.
No.
So maybe start there, and then we'll go back to the beginning. How did you end up in Las Vegas?
Okay. Wow. Well, I've been here for 30 years now. It'll be 30 years this year.
Wow.
And originally, after high school, I went to L.A., Okay. And we'll circle back to some things, but I went to LA, then I went to Europe, and then when I came back from Europe, LA was different.
Okay.
And I had a friend, one of my best friends had a condo here that I was decorating, and she didn't live in it. She lived in New York, and I was getting it ready as her retirement home.
Okay.
And she just said, if LA doesn't work for you anymore, why don't you stay here? Wow. And I'm like, okay, let me think about this. Drove back to LA, got my Jeep and a couple of things, and came back, and I've been here ever since. But it literally was the best decision I ever made as an adult.
Wow. Because
living here allowed me to go home to my bed every night.
Amazing.
I was on and off airplanes for about 11 years straight, and I was just tired, and I just wanted to go home every night. And Vegas afforded me opportunities that I wouldn't have had in New York or L.A., both places that I lived and worked out of. But I've done so many more things here, and it's not crabs in a barrel here. Yeah. You know what I mean? In L.A., New York, it's like 500 people for 2 jobs.
Yes.
And here it's not that situation at all.
Okay.
So, I've gotten to do movies and commercials and production shows on the Strip, and all entertainment comes through Las Vegas. Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world. We have more entertainment per 24 hours than any other place in the world. So Vegas has been good to me. It's been good to me.
And you mentioned you had come back from Europe. Can you maybe touch on how you ended up in Europe to begin with?
Okay. So where do I start with that? Okay. So in the 80s, I designed a show for Broadway. Okay. And that show led to me falling in love with one of the singers in the show.
And that was the Don't Get
God Started.
Don't Get God Started.
With Giancarlo Esposito, BB Winans, Vanessa Bell Armstrong. And I fell in love with one of my great loves that ended up being my husband. I left the show with a husband, Norwood Young. And he's a singer. So he went to Germany first. And he was just doing a gig, but it kept getting extended and extended. And he got a residency there. And then he wanted to do his own club there. And the only way that he would do it, because he knew he was going to be there longer, that is if I would come and help him, get the club up and running and design the interior and all that for the club. So that's how I ended up in Germany.
Maybe that was a ploy to get you to come,
Well,
to bring you on deck.
Well, if he wanted to stay married, we needed to be in the same place.
Okay. So he was a singer.
Still a singer.
Still a singer.
Living in Bangkok.
You visit him in Bangkok. I think at some point he was on Star Search, but he had already established himself.
Oh, yeah. He started when he was really young. He started at 16 years old.
In Germany, what was life like over there? How long did you stay there? What was life like? We're talking about what era, what year period are we talking about?
90, 91. Through there, early 90s.
And you're in Cologne,
In
Germany.
Cologne. Cologne was amazing. I think anybody that was 40 years old or younger spoke English.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was at that time, probably 45, 50 years. If you're over 50, they only spoke German, mainly. But
Okay.
all the younger people spoke English, so it was easy.
It
was easy to be there. Yeah, and then you learn words, the basic stuff, thank you, hello, and just, and you learn your numbers and stuff like that. But it was amazing. It was a totally different culture, and we were unicorns and aliens there because we were blacks.
You were exotic.
Yeah, very, very exotic. We're exotic wherever we go. But yeah, it was amazing. Okay. And the entertainment situation that we were in, because he owned his own club.
Oh, wow.
Our opening night, there was some Americans in town, and who did I tell you that was? Dr. Dre's group.
Oh, yeah, NWA.
NWA showed up for our opening night in Cologne, Germany, and performed at our club. So that set our club off on a really big winning streak. Yeah, we were just getting started, and it just blew up after that.
And they were booked, I guess, through their management or whatever to perform at the opening night?
No, they were just, somebody told them that the new club was opening and black people owned the club, and they showed up. They showed up as guests.
Wow.
They showed up just to hang out, and then we had built a stage and the whole 9 yards, so they, So
we're talking Dr. Dre, Eazy, and the whole crew. And you guys had them opening your show.
Yeah, but it wasn't planned. You know what I mean? They just saw the stage and say, hey, they had something to offer, and they just jumped on stage.
Organic.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so let's come back to Vegas.
Yeah.
I know that you've done a lot of different types. You're mixed media, you're creative, anything, design, anything. You've done showgirls type of stuff.
Absolutely.
Something with Steve Wynn. I know at one point you were doing some stuff for the. How does most of the work that you get come about?
Well, when I first got here, I had one friend.
Okay.
And he was on a show at the MGM.
Okay.
So I called him and said, listen, I'm thinking about, staying here. And he said, Victoria, you are not going to make that same money that you make on the road. And I was like, that's not the priority. Okay. Your girl is tired. She wants to go home every night to her bed. So he was on a big show. At that time, it was called EFX, and it was the biggest show on the Strip.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I said, well, can you get me a intro? I got a resume ready to go. Who do I talk to? And so he got me past security, introduced me to his boss, and the rest is history. I stayed there for 6 years on that show.
We call that a plug or a link.
Yeah, it was definitely.
You had a link.
It was definitely the link in the plug.
You had a link.
Definitely the link in the plug. But it was a challenge getting in the door. Not just getting beyond security and, me knocking on his boss's door and that whole nine. His boss said, he looked at my resume and he was like, you're overqualified.
Wow.
And I said, I know that and you know that. But that being the case, that means that I can do a better job for you than anybody you already have. Right?
Yeah.
And he thought about it. And he said, I never thought about it like that. I was like, listen, if you could keep my secret where I came from and that I've done all these celebrities and Broadway and all of that, keep that under wraps. I'm just here to be a worker bee and get my feet wet in Las Vegas.
Nice. Did they give you like a job? Because I know you've been head of wardrobe in different capacities.
Yeah, I just
You've been
worked
set
in the
designer.
wardrobe department.
Okay.
I just worked in the wardrobe department. I worked on, it was called a wardrobe attendant.
Okay.
And what we did was we got everybody out on stage every night. And it was a big production show, 200 people all together.
Wow.
And get everybody dressed and ready out on stage every night. And then we did wardrobe maintenance. We kept the wardrobe.
Okay.
It's millions of dollars worth of wardrobe.
Yes.
And we kept the wardrobe up to date and, and everybody looking good every night. And so, there's sewing and there's painting and gluing, all the things that it takes to keep costumes. This isn't fashion. This is costumes, which is totally different.
Totally different.
But keeping these costumes looking pristine every night.
Because you said the difference between costumes and maybe designing an outfit for someone is the costumes are reusable over and over. So you have to maintain them.
We had 2 shows a night, 6 days a week.
Just wearing the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 shows a night, 6 days a week. You don't wear anything twice a day and 6 days a week in a row.
Yeah, and not have it need some maintenance.
Yeah. But that's the difference between fashion and costumes. Fashion, you don't wear it with that kind of regularity.
Okay.
The way they wear costumes.
Yeah.
How many times they put that on in a week. So they put it on 12 times in a week.
Wow.
There's nothing that the average person wears in terms of fashion unless it's a jacket in the winter.
Yes.
Nobody's putting that on 12 times a week.
The fashion stuff is more one of one. You make it for someone once they've used it. I think, if I remember correctly, at some point in time, you had made a suit for Cedric the Entertainer BET Awards or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I've been doing my research. I've been paying attention all these years, man. I retained some stuff.
I forgot all about that.
So that's something that he probably would at one time, never would again.
Probably. Or,
Probably.
it stayed in the back of his, work wardrobe for, a long time. I don't know if he ever popped out in it again. But yeah.
Now you start doing that particular show, EFX. And that relationships, again, are a big part of how you move from one to the other. I know when we met and we did some conversations, the same thing happened in every area pretty much of each of our lives. It's that one relationship that you don't even know is going to turn into anything at some point in time.
Absolutely.
God opens the door through someone you may know. And after doing that EFX show, what was next for you after that?
Wow. After EFX, I stayed there for 6 years, but during the time I was there, I always maintained my other celebrity clientele.
So
I was always still,
I was, like you are now.
I was multitasking. I still kept my business up and running, and I still would have to pop out to LA or New York or wherever to maintain a client, do fittings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I never let that go because that was always my bread and butter. But I wanted to get myself entrenched in the Vegas culture because it's really quite different than any place else I had ever been. And all the relationships that I made at that show took me other places.
Amazing.
One of the relationships was with one of the directors of entertainment that dealt with choreography, the dancers and all that.
Okay.
He ended up going to an event space where they do corporate events.
Got it.
So I got a lot of he took me with him, meaning that no matter what else I was doing, he would call me and say, "Hey, Victoria, I got this show coming in or this conference coming in. We need such and such costumes. Are you available?"
Yeah.
And I would make myself available because I was now building another relationship with him, right? And so that was the beginning of me doing a lot of corporate work here.
Wow.
The most of the work that I do here now is corporate work. Really is. I don't do hardly any one-on-one design work here. It's mainly 90% corporate now.
And then they become repeat clients. So, for example, last year when I was here, you were doing the Lowe's.
Yes. Managers meeting. They do an annual managers meeting with about 8,000 to 10,000 managers for the Lowe's Corporation from all over the world. And they have a particular thing that they do on their last night. It's an awards ceremony where they give away lots of money and big things like trucks and cars and
they're
whatever.
Using employees to source the talent.
Yes, for that awards night, they do this thing called Lowe's Has Talent, LHT. I've been doing it for 3 years, and they source the talent from the Lowe's from all over the world.
Wow!
And it's all music. There's no dancing or anything else.
And there's categories.
They've built a band out of the talent, and then they have different categories for singers, and they either put them in, country, R&B. This year, we actually had an opera singer.
Wow.
A young girl, college student, 24 years old, and she took it all.
Amazing. Is there anyone from any of these talent things with Lowe's that end up going on to do anything, or you're not involved in any of that?
I don't really follow it after the event. I'm on to the next thing.
You're on to the next thing.
But this young girl that won this year, I think she's going to have a brilliant career in opera.
You've been around a lot of singers. You've worked with a multitude of singers, so you probably have an eye and an ear when you see someone that has potential.
Yeah. I knew that she was going to be special. And she was brilliant. I mean, listen, people were crying in rehearsal that were just observing her because they felt her, she was that powerful. And it was just so beautiful and so different, But so I style them, and I don't design a lot for them. I actually style them. I shop for them and curate their looks for each category. They give me a budget and credit card and let me go.
And other corporate clients, since that's one, because I'm thinking about time management. I'm thinking you're always very busy, and I always say you could clone yourself. That'll be powerful. Once you've established these clients and it's a recurring client, how do you make sure you don't overextend yourself? Because what are some examples of other corporate clients here in Vegas that you've done?
Well, I have other corporate clients, but they come like Lowe's from outside of Vegas. They come to Vegas to do their events. It's a great, corporate, entity for conferences. We have everything here, and who doesn't want to come to Vegas?
Everybody. And you remember when I came here with my buddy Doug Lutz, who's now a federal judge. He was a client of mine in Cincinnati, and there was a bankruptcy conference that happens, and they were bringing that here. So everything comes here. So what other examples of some other corporate clients that you've done?
Nike's been one of my clients. I did some tailoring for LeBron James.
Okay.
For LeBron, they had a collection that LeBron was the face of.
Okay.
But, what they sell retail isn't anything that LeBron could fit. So I had to, Houdini. MacGyver. Houdini. My brother calls me Vic Guyver now.
Nice.
But I had to MacGyver, some off-the-rack stuff that would fit his waist, but nothing fit his length.
Got it.
So I had to cut up a couple of, pricey, Nike outfits to be able to fit LeBron James's length.
Amazing. Let's go back a little bit.
Sure.
To the beginning. You're originally from Harrisburg, PA. And I didn't even know this until, and I said this to Billiana before I came over here, that Harrisburg is a capital?
Oh, yes, the capital city, baby. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
What was life like in Harrisburg?
Wow.
Back in your early days?
It was beautiful. When you're a kid, you only understand this when you get to be an adult. When you're a kid and you have all the things that you need and the love, you don't know that you're poor.
That's always said here.
I grew up poor, and I didn't know how poor we were until I looked back and was like, whoa, how did my mom do that? How did my grandmom do that? But I grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I had a brother 1 year older than me. And my other younger brother, he didn't show up till 12 years later. But
Okay.
so I grew up with
AJ.
AJ.
Shout out to AJ.
Say RJ and AJ.
RJ
but
and
RJ has passed away.
Mm-hmm.
But he and I grew up side by side. And by the time we were 3 and 4, my mom bounced. My brother would say that she abandoned us.
Okay.
And in the literal term of abandonment, she did. She dropped us at a neighbor that watched kids. And we called it the orphanage. It was not an orphanage. She was not zoned for no orphanage.
So you're probably just processing it to the best of your ability.
Yeah, because I'm a kid. I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, she left. And my grandmother was having a beer, at the local pub with a friend after work. And she was telling her girlfriend that she missed her grandkids. She hadn't seen them in a couple weeks. And she was like, your grandbabies, they're over at Mrs. Hodges.
Wow.
She said, my grandbabies? She said, they're over at Mrs. Hodges. My grandmother left that pub straight away, came and got us and raised us until I was 10 years old and my brother was 11.
And your mom then came back?
Well, she came back when we were 10, but after a minute, because nobody knew where she was.
Okay.
My then father, I'll tell you what I mean by then father, divorced her on the grounds of desertion because she just bounced. She went to LA.
He didn't even know that she was leaving either.
No, she didn't tell anybody. She didn't tell anybody.
Was rolling, so Mama was a Rolling Stone.
No, Mama was a Rolling Stone. More than you know at this part of our conversation.
Wow.
But so my grandmother raised us. My mom, after a bit, I don't know, because I was too little to remember, but how long it took. But after a bit, she started calling every Sunday.
Your mom started calling back home?
Yes, calling my grandmother every Sunday.
Okay.
And they would talk for a bit. And then I always heard my grandmother saying, well, honey this and honey that. Okay. I'm a little kid, right? Yeah. So then she would put us on the phone, me and my brother, RJ, on the phone. And I was like, hi, honey. I thought my mom's name was Honey.
Okay.
I thought her name was Honey because I heard my grandmother call her Honey. So I called her, kids mock what they hear.
Yeah.
So I called her Honey. Even to when she came back when we were 10, I was 10 and my brother was 11. I didn't know her name wasn't Honey.
And I'll tell you why that's powerful and relatable, because my mom left me and my 3 older brothers with our grandma, which is very common.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I'm going to go grind, hold these kids down for me. And because there were so many, my grandmother had like 15 children, and the ones that were still living at home had children. So my uncles, and they're like the similar age. And we were calling my grandma Mommy. So we still call our grandma Mommy even after our mom came back. And I moved to, the Virgin Islands, and then now I have to call her Mommy too. But we have 2 mommies. Grandma's Mommy and Mommy's Mommy.
Right. So, but we always called my grandmother Nanny. We always called her Nanny.
Okay.
So we never called her Mom, but we called our mom Honey. Until when she came back, my grandmother said, no, this is your mommy.
Wow.
You know,
she had to correct the lexicon a little bit. Yeah.
Wow. But we're little kids. But the funny thing is that I learned everything from my grandmother.
Yeah.
My grandmother taught me how to sew. That's how I got to do all of this in a way, because she inspired me to sew when I was 7.
So that's almost was like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
This why you're
Creator
here now and have the career.
Plan.
God
Creator
makes no mistakes.
No, and here's the thing. When my mom bounced, she didn't leave LA to go, she didn't leave Harrisburg to go to LA to go finger popping and, chasing guys. She actually went to school for nursing. And when she came back to Harrisburg all those years later, she got a job at the Harrisburg Hospital.
Wow.
She was a surgical technician. She worked in the operating room, handing tools to the surgeon.
To the surgeon.
Yes.
This time, she's not involved in the music business at all.
No, that's when my brother and I, when she comes back, she threatens us with, when I say threatens, as soon as you all graduate from high school, I'm out of here. I'm going back to California.
Okay.
And that's exactly what she did.
Even after coming back?
Well, yeah, she waited till
the first time.
we went to live with her. At least I did.
Mm-hmm.
My brother was never leaving my grandmother's side.
Okay.
He was never leaving my grandmother's side. So I was the first one to go and live with my mom. And my brother did not leave my grandmother's side until she died. He would never wanted to leave my grandmother and go live with mom.
Amazing. Your grandma introduced you to sewing.
Yes.
You said at one point, by 12 years old, you already made your first money from...
Yeah, I've kind of edited that. I've looked at the years and put it together. I was actually 14.
14,
but yeah,
okay.
when I was 14 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, my good friend, Sheila Green, her aunt was retiring. And she was taking a trip around the world.
Okay.
And she was kind of spicy, and she didn't want to look like everybody else. In those days, women did not wear pants in public.
Okay.
They may have worn them around the house, but they did not.
That was like a taboo.
They did not go to the grocery store, church, jobs, nowhere. Women did not wear pants in public.
Wow.
And she was taking a cruise around the world. And she wanted to be able to wear whatever she wanted. Okay. So I was already known as a really good sewer at that point.
At 14 years old? At 14,
because I made my own clothes by 14.
Amazing.
And Sheila told her aunt, well, you know, my girlfriend Victoria, she sews really good. Maybe she can help you with your wardrobe. So she introduced us because she lived next door to Sheila, and I was always at Sheila's house. Okay. And she introduced us, and I was like, yes, ma'am, I could do that. So, yeah, I made my first $600.
Do you think starting so early helped with your confidence later in life that you can accomplish things, you can overcome things?
Well, yeah. Not so much that. I had another pivotal moment in my teenage years that brought that. But as it relates to designing and creativity and all that, it was the seedlings.
The seeds. Yeah.
It was the seeds that grew from that, because this adult had that much confidence.
Confidence in you.
She had the confidence in me that I could produce what she needed once she saw things that I had made. Yeah. And I knew what I was doing. I knew my way around a tape measure. I knew my way around fabrics. I knew how to cut. So I knew how to, I had an eye at a very young age, and I knew I could put that together for her. And what gave me even more confidence is she sent me postcards from every port she went.
Was traveling.
Yeah, and said she was the belle of the ball everywhere she went.
Wow, your ego must.
I was like, oh my God, because I'm looking at a postcard from Greece or from wherever, and my mind is blown that she's, first of all, I got a postcard from another country, and that she's telling me that I did a great job. So, it did boost my confidence.
So even though your grandma planted the seed, all the things you ended up doing with that seed, she didn't teach you all of it. She got you started, and you went.
She just got me started. But a summer when I was 12, I went to Philadelphia for that summer. Okay. And my aunt had a Singer sewing machine, the one with the pedal.
With the pedals, like my grandma had back in the day, back in the day.
And she showed me how to work that machine.
Okay.
It was over.
Yeah.
It was over once she showed me how to work that machine.
This is kind of dangerous. You can lose your hand with that pedal.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. But she showed me how to use a sewing machine. Okay. And then my mom always had a sewing machine, because now my mom's back in my life, and my mom sews on a sewing machine. Wow. So by the time I come back from, spending this time with my aunt in Philly, I'm like about to get on this machine and get busy, And then we had sewing classes in junior high school and senior high school. They had home ec classes. You could have cooking and sewing. So by the time I get to the senior high school, I ask my sewing teacher, can I just stay in here? do I have to take the cooking class?
So you were enamored with it.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I wanted to spend as much time on the sewing machine as possible. Okay. So then that gets my confidence up.
Since we're talking about confidence, you mentioned that the confidence you were getting from doing stuff, making the stuff for this lady that's going on this cruise, did you get that from home with your mama? It was okay to have the community, the village, be part of whatever you needed to get you through?
No, not really. Mm-hmm. I had a life-changing event.
Okay.
When I was 16.
Okay.
I am about to be a senior in high school. Let me set the picture for you.
Okay.
It's 1968. The spring of 1968 is when Martin Luther King got assassinated.
Okay.
So I have a boyfriend, and he's white.
In 1968.
In 1968.
This is like civil rights
This can
era.
be a problem depending on where you are in the city.
Was that even legal in 68? Because the movie Loving and stuff, you're like, there's no race mixing going on.
We're kids. We're teenagers. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about, what's legal, and, it's like not my first boyfriend. Mm-hmm. It's like my second boyfriend, but my first real boyfriend that, not necessarily out in public because you go to school events.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Everything is centered around your school. Got what I mean? And we have a clique of friends, and our friend group is multiracial. Okay. So everybody in the friend group knew that we were a couple. My mom knew that he was my so-called boyfriend, whatever that is when you're, 14, 15, 16, whatever. Uh-huh. But his mom, his white mother, did not know.
Wow.
And we're being raised by two single moms.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't have a dad.
Yeah, his dad is not in the picture.
Okay.
I don't really remember what his dad's story was. But anyhow, so he's my boyfriend for 3 years. We meet in junior high school, actually, and then we now go on to senior high school. I'm a senior in high school, and we have started having sex. Okay. And I'm really shy, so that's why the juxtaposition of confidence
in your creative self. But shy and
so I'm
personal.
confident in my creative self, in my creative life, but who I am as a person, I don't know.
You're not
nobody
out there
knows.
As a young woman.
And so we're having sex, and I'm shy in this sex, space. And so there's no looking down there. There's no touching down there. There's none of that stuff is going, not with me, you know. Yeah. I had other girlfriends that were wild and doing all kinds of things, but I was not doing that, you know what I mean? I'm thinking I'm probably going to hell for what I am doing, But, so... we're at a friend's, older friends, married friends, so we get to hang out. We can hang out and be together there because we can't go to his house, and there's no shenanigans going on at my mom's house for sure. So we're fooling around, and we're in the bathroom, and something's about to go down. Okay, right? And so I'm like, but where's the condom? We called them rubbers in that.
Rubbers. Okay.
Where's the rubber? He was like, I got to go get one. I was like, well, nothing's happening because I've never had, anything happen without one. So he leaves the room, and I was like, wait. Because now he's about to embarrass me, and because he's going to go ask somebody, I think. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to the corner store. I don't know what he's doing, but whatever it is, he's leaving me in a vulnerable position. Yeah. So he comes back, and then, we do the deed, but in the middle of it, something happens that scares me, and I feel something I've never felt before. Wow. He did not get the condom.
Oh, my goodness.
And he did not tell me.
Wow.
And I'm too shy, immature, obviously.
Yeah.
And irresponsible to the point that I don't know how to take care of myself.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to look, touch, see, ask this question. You didn't get any
sex ed.
But he's my boyfriend for 3 years, so I trust him, right? Okay. So when this thing happens, I am so startled that I don't know what just happened. And I throw him up off of me. And I'm little, he wasn't a big guy, but I threw him up off of me. And I just start crying. And he said, what's wrong? What's wrong? I said, what did you do? What did you do?
You knew something was off.
I knew something was off because, like, what's this wet stuff and all of that. And I just got dressed and I kept crying and I walked straight through the house, didn't talk to anybody, walked out the door and walked home. He had a car. He followed me in his car all the way home. Why are you tripping? Why are you? And I'm like, you just ruined my life. You just ruined my life. You don't know that. It's just one time. And I was pregnant.
Wow. So you get pregnant
summer of 1968. I'm 16 years old and I get pregnant via betrayal.
Wow.
Via betrayal.
Now, how does that work in 68, pregnant, in school?
Well, here's the thing. Not a lot of options. Abortion was not legal. Abortion wasn't even a word.
1968, abortion doesn't exist. No Roe versus Wade. Whatever. Okay.
It's not even a word. It's not even a thing. And so it's summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I work a job. I'm working a summer job for the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And it's a clerical job. And I don't tell my mother until I call her from work one day and said, Mom, as I'm nervous.
You must have been scared.
I need to talk to you. She said, why? Are you pregnant?
Wow.
She not psychic.
Wow.
But in those days, the sanitary napkin box is not going down.
Oh,
the supply is not going down.
So she's doing the math.
She's doing the math.
Wow.
She's doing the math. And she notices that I haven't used any sanitary napkins.
You weren't smart enough to just chuck a couple of them.
I wasn't smart enough not to get pregnant. So how was I going to be smart enough to deceive your mom? To delete the supplies, the feminine supplies. I wasn't smart at all. I was just a kid.
Oh.
So my heart stops when she says this, and I go home, and I take the long way home, brother. I take the long way home, and then we have this conversation, and and then in those days we used to write letters.
Okay.
In school, you're passing notes and you're writing. Yeah. So that day that this thing happened to me, or the day I got pregnant, I told him I never wanted to see him again.
Wow.
But he's my boyfriend of 3 years.
Yeah.
But I was so devastated, and I just knew I was pregnant, and I was.
Okay.
I never wanted to see him again, and you destroyed my life, and how could you do that, and all this. And then I went so far as to put it in writing, because now he's trying to get to me. He's calling me. I'm not taking his calls. We got friends in the loop trying to get to me to talk to him, and I don't tell anybody. Nobody knows. Mm-hmm. And now my mom knows, and now his mom finds a letter that I wrote to him.
Wow. Telling
him, leave me alone. I don't want to know you, blah, 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 blah. And then subsequently, it wasn't the first letter I had written. There were other, I love you letters,
of course,
from, prior to this situation.
And she knows nothing of him having a girlfriend.
No, his mother doesn't know any of this.
Okay.
She finds the letters.
Okay.
So fast forward, his mother ends up at our front door.
Wow.
He and his mother end up at our front door to confront the situation. I don't know if he told her I was black. I don't know if she was surprised.
It might have been a shock to open the door. Guess who's coming to dinner?
I don't know if she was surprised. Wow. I don't know any of this, but that's how it happened. And his mom comes in, and we have this sit down, come to Jesus moment, and she starts talking. Well, I think they should get married.
His mom said that.
Yes.
So she was not overwhelmed when she finds out.
Well, she was overwhelmed, but what are we going to do?
Okay.
And she starts talking that, and I have always been an obedient child. I had never talked back to my mom, my grandmother, anybody. So I was not one of them little kids, hand on the hip, saying whatever they thought. We wasn't getting away with any of that. No. Kids were to be seen and not heard in those days.
To be seen and not
heard. When she starts talking that, even more fear envelops me. And I told you, I learned everything from my grandmother, the knee and the hem of my grandmother.
Yeah.
I say, what my grandmother has taught me.
Okay.
I say when they start talking this marriage, and my mom was, I don't even know what she said because my ears went deaf.
You kind of blacked out.
I blacked out after she
Okay.
said they should get married.
Okay.
Maybe they should get married. And I say, my nanny said,
Yeah.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
Wow. So
And
did you
I advocated for myself for the first time in my life. And I said, I will not be doing that.
Okay.
I don't trust him.
You got the power to use your voice.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Did you ever consider, since abortion was not an option, what would people do in that day when this happened?
Well, in that day, there were back alley abortions. There was coat hanger abortions and crazy stuff that people died from, bled out from.
She tried to do a home abortion.
Yeah. There was always somebody in the hood or somebody in the doctor's that worked in the dentist's office that, something. But we actually had a family friend that had resources that were going to send me to Philly, and I could have a what they called a D&C back in those days. And my mom said no. She put the kibosh on it, honey.
And the D&C
she said,
thing is where you said they scraped
the uterus.
So it could impact your ability to have children later.
Yeah, my mother said no because she didn't want to be responsible if I couldn't have children later.
Did she make any suggestions outside of no of what you should do?
She just said no. And then from that point on, my mother started terrorizing me every day.
Wow.
Every way she could, belittling me and telling me.
She was disappointed in you think?
Huh?
She was disappointed
in you? She was
disappointed
in me, but I think she was also scared for me because she had my brother and I at a young age.
Okay.
She was a teenage mom.
Okay.
She didn't want that for me because she knew how hard it was.
Most definitely.
And because she wanted something greater for her life.
Okay.
Which is why she bounced.
Yeah.
She wanted something greater for my life.
Exactly.
Because I was a great student. I was a bookie kid. You know what I mean? I would have been a nerd.
So she probably saw in you, they call my son Tyler, my friend Julie, called 2.0. So she saw in you the newer version of herself.
Exactly.
To not make the mistakes that she made.
And I had already had friends that had kids even younger than what I was. I was 16. I had a friend that got pregnant when she was 12.
Wow.
So it was one of my best friends, and her mom and my mom were the best of friends. So she saw what that looked like, and she didn't want any of that for me. So I think history is what triggered her, and trauma is what triggered her to go off on me and belittle me. But it was so constant, and I couldn't have felt any lower. I couldn't have been any more afraid of what my future was going to look like. But I was like, I didn't just love my mom. I was in love with her.
Wow.
Because she was like a unicorn. Remember, I'm raised by my nanny.
Yes.
And here comes my mom, this beautiful, statuesque, model-esque. She was more like a model than anything.
Yeah.
She was different from all the moms when she came back from L.A.
Wow.
Because she had that exposure.
Oh, yeah, the swag was way up.
Yeah,
the swag was on overdrive.
Man,
OD.
please.
The swag was on OD.
Please. They were on her. And so I didn't just admire her. I was in love. I was enamored with her. So her opinion of me was
carried weight.
Heavyweight.
Do you think that being enamored with her to that level is part of why you didn't resent or get mad and you were able to still, because sometimes some parents do bad stuff and the children can't let go of it and it severs the relationship.
No, I mean, I didn't really know her until she came back when I was 10. I only talked to her on the phone. And then when she showed up, this beautiful creature that wasn't a grandmother,
like a movie star,
that was actually my mom, you know what I mean? It was like, OMG,
Wow.
So I was just enamored with her, you know what I mean? And then I grew to love her as a mom and so forth. But now, 360, when by the time I'm 16 and pregnant and she turns on me, I thought she was going to hold my hand and walk me through it and tell me the best things to do, but she did not.
Yeah.
You know, she started drinking a little bit more and coming home after cocktails and really lighting into me. And threatening me with a future that was so bleak that I wasn't going to be anything. I wasn't going to amount to anything. I was just going to end up in the projects on welfare and all of these things. And I didn't know who to turn to, what to do. And something in me had me cry out to God. That's all I knew to do, because my grandmother was a praying grandmother. Definitely. You know, she had us in church every Sunday, honey, every Sunday.
Okay.
And so I knew I had somewhat of a relationship with God. Yeah. But now I need somebody, something. Yeah. Please help me. So one night she came home lit on that attitude, and I literally left the house, went outside, sat on the curb, in my pajamas. I'm not that kind of girl going to sit down outside in her pajamas either. Wow. And I literally just cried out to God. And I asked God for guidance. Help me, God. Please help me, help me. I've never been suicidal or anything, but at that point, for me, I didn't feel like life was worth living. I really didn't, because I couldn't see a future for me. And based on the person that I loved and revered most in life, pouring this poison into me, I did not feel safe around her. Wow. Because I did not know how to handle everything that was going on. And there's nobody in my corner. Yeah. So I literally leave home barefoot and pregnant. Not that night, but soon thereafter, because, you know, the abuse continues. Okay. It escalates.
We're talking physical abuse too?
No, just verbal abuse.
Okay.
When somebody that you love is verbally abusing
they don't
you,
need to touch you.
They don't have to touch you, honey. You know, I would rather you hit me and let that be over. And, you know, I'm going to fight you if you hit me. So, but not my mom. But in any event, you know, I'm not looking for no smacks in life, period. But anyhow, so I leave. One day, I just, you know, well, let me rewind a little bit. So I go back to school. Okay. In the fall.
Because you're pregnant
I'm
now.
Pregnant. I'm pregnant. I get pregnant probably June, July. Yeah. So I go back to school in September, and somebody rats me out to the nurse, to the school nurse.
Are you showing at this time?
No, I know. Okay. You know, I'm still a fashionista by then, so I know how to hide stuff. Okay. But somebody ratted me out to the school nurse. Wow. And because I'm trying to get out of gym classes and this and that and the other. And anyhow, so somebody ratted me out to the school nurse, and the school nurse calls me in, and I know what this is about. You know, I'm not sick, so what is she calling me in? Yeah. And at that time, you can't go to school pregnant. It's a liability. It's an insurance liability. Wow. If something happens to you on the school grounds, the school's liable when you're in their care for those school hours. So they tell me that I have to leave. And I go, what? You know, I'm devastated, you know. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. So I'm still at home. I leave school, and now I figure they give me some suggestions on how to finish. I'm a senior. Okay. So they give me some suggestions on how to finish school.
Your last year.
My last year, and graduate on time. Okay. If I keep my grades up. Okay. So there's a school in the evening just for pregnant girls.
Night school for pregnant girls. Wow.
But you have to stand on this corner and catch a bus to this school.
Wow. Kind of embarrassing, huh?
Devastating.
Wow.
Devastating.
Everyone can see you now. That's the girl waiting for the pregnant bus.
And where I'm catching the bus is the pathway everybody's walking home from school. So after my mom, I'm circle back. So after my mom has abused me beyond what I can take for the last time, I leave home barefoot and pregnant, go to my best friend's house. Her name is Zuline.
Zuline. Okay.
Her mom and my mom, Auntie Emily, are the best of friends. Okay. So Zuline her bedroom is on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
So I hide out in her bedroom, and nobody's coming up there.
Wow.
I hide out in her bedroom for almost a week. Because remember, I'm not going to school. So I don't come downstairs and eat or do anything until everybody leaves for school.
Okay.
Okay. And her mom goes to work.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, Zeline comes home and says, you can stay. I'm sure my mom's going to let you stay, but we have to tell her you're here.
Okay.
So I do it. And I come downstairs and I say, hi, Auntie M. You know, this is what happened, and I'm pregnant, and my mom, and this and that. And she said, oh, my God. She said, well, honey, you can stay, but you're going to have to call your mom.
Okay.
I call my mom and tell her where I am. Because I've been gone for about a week, you know, and I don't know if she's looking for me or I don't know nothing. There ain't no cell phones. It ain't no email. There ain't nothing like that in those days. And so my mom threatens to call the police. You come home right now. I'm going to call the police. Again, I stand up for myself. Don't know where I got it from.
It's a transition for
I
you
said,
then. Okay.
That's what you're going to have to do because I'm never coming back. I'm never coming back. I didn't feel safe around her.
Wow.
Because she was just too mean to me. And I'm already vulnerable. And I don't know what I'm going to do if she persists in being that mean. Because now I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Because remember, my mother didn't raise me. By the time my mother came back, I was 10 years old. I was already raised.
Okay.
I knew how to cook, clean, sew, everything. Because my grandmother taught me from a little one how to do all of these things.
Wow.
So I was already who I was going to be by the time my mother came back.
So what ends up happening after the dust settles and
so
you're
the
not,
dust settles and I'm staying at my Auntie M's. I don't have to sleep upstairs
in the attic anymore.
On the third floor beside my girlfriend's bed, and they have a pull-out couch downstairs. She said, "No, you need this for your back. You're gonna be more comfortable." So I'm kicked out of school. So now I start the pregnant girl school, night school. It's from her house that I have to walk down to the corner.
Yeah.
Catch the bus.
The walk of
and
shame.
all the friends are coming by, and my belly's out to here. So for the first 4-5 months, all I did was cry. All I did was cry day and night. And then I can't tell you how this happened, but I found myself at social services, Catholic social services.
Okay.
I didn't go to Catholic school, but I studied catechism in the summers, and I went to Catholic, summer camps and all of that. So I was familiar with the Catholic religion and so forth and so on. And so I don't know if I just looked it up in the yellow pages or whatever. And I found myself at Catholic social services talking to the nuns. I needed some help. And I went to the nuns, and there was 2 nuns there that day.
By yourself?
By myself on the bus. On the bus. And I talked to the nuns. I told them my situation, and I said, can you please help me? I don't know what to do. And, they were really kind and really sweet to me. And nobody had been kind and sweet to me other than my girlfriend Zeline and her mom.
Okay.
And other than that, nobody really knew. And other than Jack, my mom and his mom, my baby daddy, as they say these days, his name was Jackie. And so the nuns said, well, we can help.
Okay.
There are 2 options. There is adoption.
Okay.
And then there is foster care.
Foster care.
And I was like, well, what do they both mean?
You don't know anything. You're 16 yet. What does that mean?
I don't know where, babies go home. I don't know where babies go. So she tells me what each one of them mean. Adoption is permanent, and foster care is, somebody temporarily takes care of the child.
And then you can get them back later on in life. And then there's a
possibility that you could, And she said, but I don't want you to tell me now.
Okay.
I want you to think about it and come back and see us next week.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I will.
You go back to Zuline's.
I go back to Zuline's, and I'm praying some more. That's all I'm doing is crying and praying.
In your mind, are you thinking, I'm about to be a mom? Is there any thought of the two options you mentioned of foster care and adoption? Is there any thoughts of keeping
How
the
do I do
child?
this?
And how would that
How do I do this? What does this look like?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I thought about was the child first.
Okay.
Not me.
Not you. You weren't being selfish and think, wow,
No,
this
no, no,
child.
no, 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 no. Because remember, I'm raised by my grandmother.
Okay.
My mother didn't raise me.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that somebody helping me raise a child was off.
The best option for the child is what you're thinking.
What is the best option for the child?
The best chance of survival.
Absolutely. To have a great life.
Okay.
How can I give this child, what decision can I make to give this child the best chance at a great life?
At a great life.
And me keeping the child and being the mom to this child
at 16.
I didn't have him until I was 17, was kind of off the table because I had no support system.
Yeah.
You know, what? And here's another thing. I think having children is a privilege.
Oh.
I don't think it's a given just because you're a woman and you have a womb.
There's a woman that want to and can.
No. I think it's a privilege. And kids don't ask to be here and be in ridiculous and unimaginable circumstances. So my first thought was, how and what do I do, dear Lord?
Dear Lord.
To give this child the best life. So by the time I went back to the Nuns,
you go back.
I was calm.
Okay.
Once I had these options, once I left seeing those nuns the first time, I stopped crying.
Okay.
Because now there's hope.
You're not as overwhelmed anymore.
Yeah,
there's a light at the end of
hope.
the tunnel somewhere.
There's hope. They're gonna they're gonna guide me and hold my hand. Whatever decision I make, they're gonna help me through this. You know? And so when I went back, I told them that I wanted to use the adoption option.
Okay.
And they asked me why.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're making a lot of big decisions.
Yeah, at 16.
16 years old.
Yeah, and they asked me why. It was like going to counseling with them.
Yes.
They did not let me make this decision willy-nilly.
They've been doing this for a lot of time, so they've seen the evolution of this process.
So I said, I want to give this child the best opportunity for a great life. And what you told me about foster care, it's temporary. So the child could bounce from here to there to there to there.
Yeah.
I want my child to have the best chance at a, concrete life, at stability,
bright future,
at love.
Some kind of future,
you know what I mean? And all the things the kids deserve. So I told her adoption, and I was sure.
You were sure.
I was
Your mind
sure.
was made up.
I was sure.
So you end up having the child.
I had the baby. Yep, and March of that year, and it was a boy. And
is that a tough delivery process back in those days? Is it like
no, it wasn't. I mean,
hospitals are kind of
I woke up in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m, and felt this, pain. And
all still at Zuli's place. Everything is happening at Zuli.
Yep. And I called. I woke up my Auntie Emily and said, Auntie Em, I think I'm having the baby. And so she said, well, then you get dressed and I'll take you and all of that. And my water broke because when I stood up, I was having pain. And then when I stood up, my water broke. So that's
how many months now? Because
I'm 9 months.
You're 9
full
months.
Term,
okay.
Full term.
So then you have the child. From the time you deliver the child, is there any, because I know this can be a time when some people could change their mind. The child comes to you, I'm going to.
No, because by month, I don't know, 6, 7, they have a family for me.
They have a family. So you couldn't, there's no going back now. Even
I can go back anytime I want.
Okay, even though
I can go back anytime I want.
To someone else.
But remember, I am relieved and I am grateful and I am screaming hallelujah that God has provided me with a concrete, wonderful option.
Yeah.
And I asked only 2 questions when they told me that they had the family.
Okay.
Do they have other children?
Okay.
Yes. Because if they have other children, I'm thinking if they have children, they know how to love children. They'll love my child.
Yeah. And the kid has someone to interact with and,
Yes.
and grow with.
And then remember, I don't even know if I mentioned, I did mention this. My son is biracial.
Okay, yeah.
So
okay.
I ask, is it a black family or is it a white family? They tell me it's a white family. I'm like, okay.
And you didn't care one way or another?
No, not at all. I just, I didn't see him when he was born. So I just needed.
You didn't see him?
No, I couldn't. Because there's too much.
I've been there
it was my option. I could have. I could have fed him, did all of that.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to make myself any more vulnerable than I already was. Because in the process of now me knowing what I'm going to do, now I'm good. I am happy. I started reading to this baby, singing to this baby, poetry, books, baby books, all the joyful mom stuff that they now have in books to do when you're bonding with your child. So I bonded with him in my stomach because I knew I wasn't going to be a part of his life. Amazing. Now everybody knows I'm pregnant because I'm standing on the corner waiting for a bus to go to pregnant night school. Okay. You know, so the cat's out of the bag. So, but in that process, most of my friends turn on me too.
Wow.
Because, oh, you're pregnant. My best friend, you're pregnant and you didn't tell me and blah, blah, blah. Whoa. And I'm like, girl, calm down. I'm already humiliated.
This time in your life, this is what you're getting
but these are people that love me and I'm close to, and why didn't you tell me? And I could have been here for you and all that. But I'm traumatized. I don't know what I'm doing and how to do it until these nuns come to the rescue. Okay. You know? So anyhow.
You have the child.
I have the child.
They already picked the family well in advance.
Yeah. So the family comes to the hospital, day one, a baby being born. And my dad, who is not really my dad, I'll tell you about that, comes to the hospital and says, what do you mean you're giving a baby up for adoption? We didn't give you up for adoption. And now more guilt, more trauma. Wow. The day I have the baby, and I'm like, well, that was you all's option. That was your choice. Wow. This is my choice. And so I signed the papers and you didn't have to stay long in hospitals. I don't know if I stayed overnight. I probably did.
Old school. They just popped them out, just kept on going. My grandma had 15 of them. So then they take the child.
Pick up the baby. And
they go, and you never see the child after delivery.
No.
Child. You didn't name the child?
I did name the child. I named him at birth because you got to sign the birth certificate.
Okay.
So I named him at birth, but the adoption family has the option of changing.
To change it.
Because it's their newborn baby.
Yes.
So they have the option of changing his name, and they did.
So let's move forward a little bit. So you have the child. They take the child. You then go on with your life because it's another pivotal moment for you. Obviously, there's a lot of pivotal moments here, powerful moving moments. They take the child. You now continue on with your life.
I continue on with my life, and that's when I go to L.A. My mom leaves, remember, right after we graduate from high school. This is all 1969.
She told you guys she was going to leave.
She told us she was going to go back to L.A. She did that as soon as we graduated. But neither one of us, RJ and myself, we weren't at home. I left barefoot and pregnant at 16. Okay. He left the year before I left, when he was 16. So neither one of us were at home, so she was free to go whenever she wanted to. But she stayed until we graduated from high school, and literally she left the same month that we graduated from high school. So I go out to L.A. Christmas to visit her, and I loved it. And I decided to stay.
First time in
First time on the West Coast.
Wow.
First time on an airplane. Okay. All the things. I decided to stay. And from there, I stayed with my mom for probably a week. And then I was already pretty much a big girl. You know what I mean? Still shy, but I found my way. And, there's a guy. There's always a guy, always a guy.
Are you working at this time in LA?
Well, no, I just got there, but I'm finding my way around, and I found there was a guy that was, by now I have a younger brother. And his dad had a friend that lived just down the street. They worked together.
Okay.
He and I became friends, and he starts to show me around L.A.
What part of LA are you guys in at this time?
South Central.
Okay.
South Central.
Okay.
And he, in the Crenshaw area.
Crenshaw, okay.
Yeah. So he starts to show me around L.A., and then he starts to show me around California.
This is like 70?
Yeah,
60,
1970.
Okay.
He shows me around L.A. He shows me around California. Then he shows me we drive up and down, VW bus, drive it up and down the whole coast, the whole West Coast.
Okay.
You know?
PCH up to Bay Area all the way down?
Yeah, all the way. We go up to
drive.
Washington, that far.
Oh, all the way up?
All the way up the West Coast, yeah.
Okay.
And then he and I become an item, you know.
The guy that's showing you around?
Yeah, we become an item. So now we get a place together, you know.
And your mom is softer now, or she's...
I don't know. I don't stay around long enough to find out.
Okay, you just jump off point, you get your foot, and then you're off. So you guys get a place together, you and this guy?
And we're at the beach.
Okay.
We're in Hermosa Beach, which becomes my first L.A. home, which is still my L.A. home.
Yeah,
I still got roots there.
Yeah.
I still have roots there.
Okay.
Deep roots. And now I start gigging. I start working.
Okay. What's your first...
I start working in a fabric store.
So you still get back into something fashion
it's what
related.
I know.
Okay.
It's what I know. I know. And next to this fabric store is a boutique. The fabrics that are sold in this fabric store, the owner is supplying the boutique with the fashions.
Oh, wow.
So they're manufacturing and selling fabrics in one side, and then you go out the door into this other side, and that's the boutique.
The finished product now.
Exactly.
Got it.
So I get to work and then work my way up to managing the boutique.
Wow.
From the fabric store to the boutique.
And the boutique is in Hermosa Beach?
In Hermosa
Everything
Beach.
Is right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can walk to work.
Wow.
Walk down the hill. The ocean's right there. And, and that's how I start my life in California.
Wow.
Start my life in California.
It's amazing how everything kind of happens according to God's plan, no matter what it is that you may have in mind. And sometimes the things that may seem like challenges, back to the whole idea of this whole podcast, is that you've got to lean into God. You got to let go and let God, as they say.
Exactly.
And trust His judgment, His guidance. And remember when I told you I was on the podcast and you sent me the text and you said, well, why global Soul-Jah? Like, what does it mean behind that? Yeah, break that down,
because I think that's
really
important.
And then I went online and I didn't realize how powerful it was, because in the Rastafari tradition, Jah is God. And I didn't want Soul-Jah, like militant firearms.
Like it's not Soul-Jah, it's Soul-Jah.
Soul. It's all about heart.
Soul-Jah.
It's Soul-Jah.
And
God. And then when I looked up, when you asked me, and I went online and looked, and it said, Paul wrote the letters, and it said, when you're faced with challenges and adversity, don't be overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. Be like a good soldier. Mm-hmm. And sit there and trust in His plan and His design.
Right.
So it's amazing. So you start gigging, and you're in LA. What do you do what else are you doing to move from that stage of your life to
how I got this far?
Yeah. Because one thing always leads to the next.
You're asking me about confidence.
Yep.
So how I move now is way different from that girl that got pregnant at 16.
Okay.
That circumstance, that me finding myself pregnant at 16, society and all the adults around me were telling me that I wasn't going to be anything and I wasn't going to do anything. I graduated on time.
Which a lot of people are hearing this all the time, every single day, from directly and indirectly.
From the people that they love and they trust and they revere. But all the adults were not in any way supportive of me, other than my Auntie Emily, right? But I had something to prove.
You had a chip on your shoulder.
Oh, yeah. Like you
Okay.
tell me I can't do something, I'm not going to be something.
So instead of
because that wasn't
accepting
my
what someone is
trajectory.
telling you, there's two things you can do when someone tells you can't do something. You
can
say,
believe them?
Oh, okay. I'll give up. Or you could say, I'm going to show you.
But
No, that don't
remember
define
what
me.
I did when I didn't know what to do. I cried out to God.
To God.
And God answered me in real time.
May not come when you call.
Ha!
But he's always on time.
Always on time.
Okay.
So that was the fuel. That was the rod in my back that gave me confidence, that gave me structure, that gave me a work ethic.
Wow. Determination,
belief in myself. Self-esteem.
Wow.
It was all based on the God in me. Because remember, barefoot and pregnant, I didn't have nothing but God.
Mind, body, soul. So you need that spiritual element.
I don't know how anybody else does it.
If you're healthy,
I don't know how you do
physically, you're mentally deteriorated, you need the combination of the three.
I don't know how
really,
anybody else does it without that has created all of us.
It doesn't have to be a religious type of thing. I was raised Seventh Adventist, as you know. So it impacts some of, I don't eat pork, I don't eat shellfish, but I don't really necessarily follow the pattern of the system of spirituality that I was provided, but it still guides how I make decisions, how I interact with people.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So how I get from point A to point B is, okay, that circumstance, me getting pregnant, was supposed to break me.
Yes.
It was supposed to destroy me.
Yeah, and people were telling you that it would.
They told me that. I don't know enough about life not to believe them.
Okay.
But what I do believe is I believe in God because He said He never leave us and He never forsake us. He did not forsake me in my hour of need.
The hour of need.
So everything that I do, I'm going to Him first for guidance. What should I do about this? How do I do that? What's my path?
You didn't call the girlfriends who said, I can't believe you didn't tell me because they don't have the answer. They don't have the solution.
They don't know any more than I know, and they have not been through what I've been through. But that circumstance changed my whole life. Wow. And it made me who I am today. Okay. When I think about all the fabulous things that we'll talk about that I've done in my life, that was the most important thing I ever did because it shored me up to be who I am today.
Wow.
I know how to make hard decisions. Yeah. I know what real sacrifice is.
Yep.
I know what real sacrifice is.
You've been through some things.
That wasn't easy. It was the most heart-wrenching, heartbreaking thing I have ever done in my life to date. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do.
That's a foundation.
Yes.
Of overcoming
So if
hardship.
I could do that,
anything is possible.
Bring it on. What else you all got? That's all you got.
Possible.
That's all you got.
So you're at this Hermosa store. You're doing that job. How long are you there before you transition to something else?
I am there I am at the beach for a couple of years.
Okay.
And then now I'm only 19. So, my stepdad, which is my younger brother's father, Mama was a Rolling Stone. We all got different dads, all three of us.
Yeah.
So he asked me, what are you going to do with your life? I said, I'm going to live a fabulous life. And this. He was like, well, but how are you going to do that? I was like, what do you mean? I left home at 16. Nobody's asked me these questions. I knew I went to community college after my son was born for 1 month, and I knew that I did not want to do that. I knew I didn't want to go to college. I knew I didn't want any more geography and history and all of those things. I knew I didn't want to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew what I didn't want to do.
That didn't resonate with you.
Not at all.
You could tell.
Both my brother RJ, who ended up, when he passed away, he had 4 degrees. He was a doctor. He had a PhD. My mom had a couple of degrees when she passed away. You know what I mean? But that wasn't my path. Me and AJ, we're the creatives in our family. He's a chef. And I'm a designer of many things. Yeah. But when his dad asked me that, it started me to critically thinking for the first time. Not the first time, because I had to critically think, with my son, but I had to think about me now critically. Yes. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? What is my path forward?
Yeah.
Yes. So I decided to apply to a fashion design school.
Wow.
And I applied to a fashion design school in the back of a Vogue magazine. Yes, you could. There was these things. And because remember, there's no internet, there's none of this stuff. So
era.
how you
can't
reach out.
Google it.
But this was in Milan.
Milan,
Italy.
Okay.
I got accepted.
Wow.
But I couldn't afford to go because one, I didn't have money, but I could get there. You know, I could find a way to get there, but I couldn't work there. I couldn't get a student visa to work there.
Okay, a worker's
so
visa.
So how am I going to
something.
take care of myself while I'm going to school?
Yeah.
You know, so because they were going to give me a scholarship to come.
Okay.
You know, but how am I going to take care of myself?
Do you remember the name of the school?
Oh, no, I don't.
It's okay. It's not.
But that set the wheels in motion. Well, maybe that I do want to go to school for
Another
fashion.
seed being planted again.
Yeah, because now I've been designing for, and sewing for a lot of years, you know? And I feel like I know a lot.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, if this is a career path, again, crying out to God. Now I'm fasting and praying because I know how to fast now.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm there.
Yeah.
I need more clarity.
Yep.
So I find a school in San Francisco.
Okay. And that's where the San Francisco.
I go to San Francisco. I moved to San Francisco, go to San Francisco School of Fashion Design.
At 19,
yes.
20, you just
19
moved
years
to San
old.
Francisco.
I turned 20 and 21 in San Francisco. Yeah.
And this is a school where you live on the campus? You got to find a place to live?
No, I moved to Berkeley.
Berkeley,
I had one friend in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And once I got there, I stayed with that friend for a couple of days. And then those days they had, they still have these these free papers for different communities. And where you can do like,
stuff,
like LA has one. I forget what theirs is called, but they had one for San Francisco and the whole Bay.
Gazette or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
In the Bay Area, they had this paper where you could put ads in the back. So there was a professor for Berkeley.
Berkeley?
Yeah, Cal State Berkeley. And he had a room for rent. A professor had a room for rent.
You're doing all this resourcing and seeking and all this stuff.
Listen, if I can find my way to Catholic social services on my own.
Foundation was set. You can solve. These other things are easy.
Yeah, I know how to critically think.
Okay.
So that was a resource, found it, went to see him. He said, yes, showed me the room.
What's a room back then? What does it cost to rent?
So
you go, you do it, you enter the school.
Yeah.
And how long did that last?
The school was in San Francisco, and I lived in Berkeley. So I gotta, I gotta take the BART.
The Bay Area, I love the BART.
I gotta take the BART. I gotta go under the water to get to school every day. And it was tremendous.
Wow.
It was such a big girl moment.
Are you feeling like you're in your element now? You're around all this fashion and design.
And now I'm living in Berkeley, and the university's right there.
What's Berkeley like back in 1970 or whatever?
It was popping. It was popping.
Oh my God.
And I'm coming from being a hippie at the beach. Now I can still be a hippie in Berkeley, baby.
Oh my goodness.
I am in my element, and I feel safe. I feel protected. I feel nurtured. I'm living with this older professor. He was an older white man, and he was kind and gentle and knowledgeable, and he loved classical music and turned me on to classical music, which is why I listen to every kind of music there is.
And there's a different vibe. Having lived and worked in San Fran myself, the energy of the Bay Area is a lot less pretentious, a lot more village, more inclusive than LA. You call LA crash because you just bump into people. You may not even see them again, but they're more. It seems to be
listen,
the energy
that's
more
where
genuine.
I ate my first granola, baby. I'm on seeds and granola, and
you get an education of every kind at this time.
Yes, and sprouts and the whole.
So you stay how long at the school?
Well, it's a 2-year course.
Okay.
Now, when I go to the school, I'm going under the guise of, if I'm going to enter the fashion industry, I'm going to need some paperwork.
You need the schooling, the paperwork.
I'm going to need some paperwork.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a degree.
Even though you feel you have a knowledge of the craft.
But in those days, going to college was the thing.
Okay.
So you got to have paperwork. You know what I mean? That says that you're credible.
You're credible,
and that you know how to do this thing that you're saying that you can. That you're showing up and you saying that you can do.
Yeah.
So I go to school. The course, it's a 2-year course.
Okay.
But right away, my professors, instructors, they know I'm advanced. They know I'm advanced.
Since you were a child.
And now it's pricey. It's over $1,000 a month. So I got a part-time job and I'm going to school, you know, and they see that I'm an asset. So I forget how big our class was, but there's only one instructor per course. They're different classes.
Okay.
And this one might teach draping. This one might teach flat pattern. This one might teach sketching, whatever.
Okay.
So they each, I don't know if they had a round table about me or what.
We got a prodigy on our hands here.
Elicit me. You know, they all call me in. And 2 of them say, how would you feel about help, since you're so advanced, we don't want to slow you down. How would you feel about helping with the class? I said, helping with the class, what does that mean? You know, the students that don't know whatever is being taught that day, since you already know, you know, you can help us.
You can help us graduate more of this class.
Yeah, you can help us with those that are slow, you know, and that are just learning this. I knew my way around a sewing machine, needle, all the patterns, all of that. So I was like, yeah, she said, and in return, we will cut your school fees in half.
Whoa.
I'm like, whoa, yes, I'm very interested.
Sounds good to me.
And they said, but there's only one other thing. You have to graduate with the first graduating class. You can't stay here 2 years.
Wow. And how far off is the first graduating class? It's just the end of the year?
Wow. I only got to be there, to answer your question, I only got to be there for like 9 months.
Wow.
But, you know, 3 months in, they're like, what is she doing here? And then they asked me that. Literally, what are you doing here, Victoria? Are you hiding?
Wow.
Because you are obviously talented enough to enter the fashion industry.
Is this another major confidence builder to you, I imagine?
Absolutely. Because basically they kicked me out and said, go forth and be in the fashion business.
Even when you were entering the class, when you enrolled, you're probably thinking, you don't know what you don't know. You're thinking, I know all this stuff. You're not thinking, I'm going to go in there and wow them. You're thinking, I'm going to be overwhelmed. Then you go in there like, no, you know it.
Yeah. And I did learn some things. I learned how to do some things easier.
Okay.
You know, because I'm self-taught.
Okay.
I knew found out how to do some things easier. And there was a particular thing that I had never really done, and that was draping the fabric on a mannequin and cutting the pattern, making the pattern literally on the mannequin. I knew how to do a flat pattern, but I didn't know how to drape.
Wow.
And they taught me how to drape.
So those mannequins you have at your studio, those...
Yes.
Didn't you say there was some that expand or something like that? So you could...
Exactly.
The size of a person,
but
you
in
could
those
replicate...
days, they didn't have that. They had different size mannequins. And in the professional world, there are different size mannequins, not necessarily adjustable. Adjustable is kind of for home stuff, you know. So I have a multitude of different kinds.
So you finish 9 months, you get some
they made me graduate. With the graduating class, you have to do a production. You have to do a fashion show. Wow. And they made me graduate.
And then where do you take that?
Well, one of the things, what happened also is one of my other professors shared his clientele. He had a clientele that he did tailoring for.
Wow.
And design work for. So also to help me make money.
Wow.
And to offset my fees, he shared his clientele with me and paid me.
Wow.
So I got more confidence from that because now I'm working with people, you know, not just my friends, you know, like when I grew up, you know, and my girlfriend's aunt. Now I'm working with the public, so to speak.
Wow.
So from there, that summer, I take a journey. I hadn't seen my friends back east in Harrisburg for a long time.
Harrisburg is like interwoven.
It's my hometown. You know, it's home, you know, to a point. But now I'm really feeling like a Cali girl. You know what I mean? Yeah. But so I go back east to see my friends. I haven't been there maybe 4 years or so. 1974. And I go back for, it's summer, I go back for a week or maybe 10 days or something. And when I get there, Muhammad Ali, this is pre-George Foreman.
Okay.
The Rumble in the Jungle.
Rumble in the Jungle and Zaire.
And
Ali Boumbaye.
Yeah. He has a training camp in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania that's really close to Harrisburg.
Okay. I thought Ali was from like Kentucky.
Yeah, but his training camp is in, he's from Chicago. I think he's from Illinois, but, or Kentucky, all of those things. But he has a training camp in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania where he trains off the grid, so to speak. And
is he a champion at this time, or he's just a fighter?
Yeah, no, he's a champ.
Okay, he's a champ.
That's all they call him is champ.
Champ, okay.
They don't even call him Ali. They don't call him Muhammad. They call him champ.
Okay.
You know, so my friends are telling me about, the champ. I'm like, who the champ? Wow. They were like, Muhammad Ali. I was like, oh, I don't even like him. They were like, what do you mean? You don't like the champ? I was like, no, he's too mouthy. He got too much to say. Yeah. He's too braggadocious for me.
A lot of people didn't like that about him. A lot of people liked it about a lot of people.
But I didn't get it.
Yeah.
That was his public persona. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, I was like, why do I want to meet him?
Yeah.
Because they were saying, you need to meet the champ. And I was like, why do I want to meet him? Wow. Said, because you're a designer. But like, they knew I had just come out of design school. Mm-hmm. And they said, well, maybe you could design something for him. We know his people. They always come down here. And when they come the next time, we should all go back up there with them. And I'm like, and these are my girls, Uh-huh. And I'm like, ugh.
It's really like 6 degrees of separation, because I met him at a book signing in Lower Manhattan one time when he was, towards the end, he was slowed down with the Parkinson's, but it's interesting. But you were hanging out with him doing stuff.
Well, now my girls, because people in Harrisburg go up, he does he does a sparring session every day.
Open to the public?
Open to the public.
Okay, you come and watch.
But people come from all over the world to watch him spar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I'll go, because I wasn't into the boxing thing, and I didn't really, I wasn't really feeling him.
Yeah.
So I go, and it could happen the first time I get introduced to him. His people introduced me to him. Wow. His people that are friends with my people introduced me to him.
Links again. Relationships.
Yeah. And, he was lovely.
Okay.
And,
you realize the public persona and the private person.
Yeah. And the conversation was,
Uh-huh.
he asked me what I did. And they told me she's the designer. Maybe, champ, she can design your robe and your trunks. Uh-huh. That would be fabulous, sister. And, he's a Muslim, what I mean? Yeah. So he's calling me sister right off.
That's a good impersonation, but that'd be fabulous, sister.
Yes. He kind of welcomed me in.
Yeah.
And then he said he had some meetings or whatever, and he was like, come back and let's sit down. So I came back. I don't know if I went back the next day or whatever, but by the time I went back to see him, so what they had proposed is that I would design his robe and his trunks for this fight in Zaire, Africa.
Wow.
George Foreman, Rumble in the Jungle.
Historic fight.
So now by the time I go back to see him, he has more information. And the government of Zaire, the king, has offered him a ceremonial robe that he cannot turn down because it's rude and disrespectful. Yeah. So he says, but I have another offer for you. He said, would you consider to design my wife's wardrobe for Africa? This is a bigger job.
So he's married and he has kids at this time.
He's married and he has kids. Okay. So I say, of course. So now this, 10-day vacation turns into me living at the training camp in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania. Wow. And taking trips to New York, Chicago, wherever, with the champ, his wife, the kids, and his whole crew.
Wow.
And me designing a wardrobe for his wife to go to Zaire, Africa.
But you didn't go to Zaire?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't go.
They went.
I went back to L.A.
Okay, so if I watch like When We Were Kings or something, whatever, I might see some of your stuff on the champ's wife.
Yeah. Now, I actually did not go back to L.A. I didn't go back to L.A.
Would you end up
I went back to Harrisburg.
Okay.
Spent time in Harrisburg decompressing from, oh my God, what I just did.
Okay. I'm going to have to pause you now. If you go back to Harrisburg, and you're going back to Harrisburg all this time, is your mind thinking about your son?
I never
and where he may be?
Yeah.
Because the family that adopted him, they're in Harrisburg or somewhere.
I don't know where they are.
Oh, you don't know where they are?
I don't know where they are.
Is your mind even crossing on that?
Absolutely. My mind never stopped thinking about my son.
Wow.
Never stopped thinking about my son. I wasn't one of those girls, because remember, I'm young, I got this young, tender skin. I wasn't one of those girls that didn't get stretch marks. So every day of my life, when I take off my clothes, I got the battle scars of birth.
Powerful.
Of birth, but I have nothing to show for it. I only have the battle scars. So I'm living. He is in my DNA.
Wow.
He never leaves me.
Wow.
Ever leaves me.
And you go back to Harrisburg after working at the Champ, and what do you do?
I hang out for a minute, and my intention is to go back to L.A.
Back to L.A.
But I bump into my first boyfriend before my son's father. My first boyfriend, as in when I was 13 years old, 12 and 13 years old.
Middle school,
my sister, one of my play sisters, one of my good girlfriends, it was her brother.
Wow.
Right? And we were so in love as you can be at 12 and 13 years old. But he was 3 years older than me.
Okay.
And what he went away to college was when I was going into senior high school.
Okay.
And my mom insisted, which is how I met and my second boyfriend, my mom insisted that you're not waiting for a guy that's in college to come home.
Wow.
You're going to go be with kids your age and your friends and, all of that.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up having dates and meeting I was open, and had a relationship with somebody else for my whole time through high school.
Who ended up betraying
because,
you.
Well, what happened is my first husband, Jim, he went to college. He was a football player. He went to college on a football scholarship.
Jim, a brother?
Yes, absolutely.
So you were equal opportunity.
Oh, yeah. But my family, my mom never.
You weren't funneled any particular way.
Any particular was no race issues in our family.
So you reconnect with him.
I reconnected with him. One thing led to the next.
You didn't get pregnant again, did you?
No, heck no. We end up shacking up, meaning, I got him out of his mom's house. I don't know why he was still there at 29.
This one that was still living with his mom.
He was still living with his mom. And I said, why are you still living at home? He said, why not? And I was like, because you're a grown man and you got your own money.
Yeah.
And so he said, well, if you find me an apartment, I'll move. And I was like, if I find you an apartment. He said, I'll give you all my credit cards and whatever you need, checkbook. You find it.
They really know how to lure you in. Here's all my money.
Yes.
No one said, let's go to Cologne.
But here's the thing. It was a creative endeavor because I get to decorate.
Oh, okay.
I've always done this kind of thing. Yeah, it's a creative
Anything creative
endeavor.
is going to up your antenna.
Yeah,
You're
it's
going to
get my antenna. Yeah.
Okay.
So I say, all right, bet. Challenge taken.
Okay.
So there's no romance or nothing going on between us because it's been 8 years since we've been involved in any kind of way. Because he went to college. He didn't stay because he was homesick, had never been away from home, and he was lovesick also. And by the time he finally came back, his girl was gone because my mom pushed me out there, So
you get the place, you move in.
So anyhow, he gives me his checkbook, credit cards, I find the place, decorate the place, and he says, so you moving in? I'm like, dude, I'm going back to California. He said, what's your hurry? You going back to a job? I'm like, no. He said, well, hang out. Hang out. Yeah, I was still a little shy. So he seduced. I loved him. I always loved him, but not a romantic love.
Yeah.
So I stayed and and now it's winter.
Okay.
So I went there in the summer and now it's winter.
Yeah. And you're used to LA and Bay Area weather by this time.
So now, one evening, we're driving over to his mom's house for whatever reason. I think she made spaghetti. We're going to go have dinner, whatever. And we go in, I hug his mom, kiss her. And this is my family since I'm a kid. You know what I mean?
Like
grew up in his
family,
house.
Yeah.
So I go upstairs to see his sister because she's bathing one of her kids. They're over.
Oh, wow.
And I'm talking to her and, I forget, on the way over, He says, why are we playing house? Why are we playing around? Why don't we just get married?
Let's get married.
I'm like, what?
Let's just get married. Let's stop playing around. Let's just get married.
My stomach drops.
Okay.
In fear. This scared me. And I was like, what are you talking about? Why would we do that? He said, well, we're already playing house. I'm like, yeah, but, why do you want to? No, come on. And I was like, and then now we drive up and we're in his mom's driveway.
Okay.
So I say, hey, put a pin in that. We'll talk about it on the way home or when we get home. So I go upstairs. I'm hanging out with his sister. By the time I come down, his mom was like, yeah, you guys are finally
Oh, he already backdoored you and told the mom. He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to share that then.
Bamboozled me, threw me under the bus.
Okay.
Threw me under the bus. So
You get married.
Yeah, but never remember, I just got him out of his mother's house.
Okay.
So I'm not going to throw him under the bus in front of his mother.
Okay.
But by the time I get this man back in the car, I'm like, how dare you? You know how impulsive she is.
It's amazing you have the discipline and the grace to know, I don't want to undress him. Here, I'll do the lady. Because modern people, remember, like, when they're irritated, they're irritated.
Remember, God showed me what grace was when I really needed it. So I know what grace is.
So you live with it.
Yeah.
It's part of who you are now. It's what I love about you. It's like,
so, I know grace. So I'm not going to betray somebody because I've been betrayed.
The circumstances don't let you change the fabric of who you are and how you interact with people.
Because I am already who
and level of respect and how to go about it. You can still convey it, but you can still deliver that message later, and he can get to keep his manhood in place.
Yeah, and he's already now, he's just getting his manhood in check and deciding who he wants to be as a man. I'm not going to throw him under the bus in front of his mother.
Wow.
So when I get him in that car, I'm like, what in the bleep did you do? You know how she is.
Yo, man.
And I'm like, we were supposed to talk about this again. And he said, Victoria, if God, I've always wanted to marry you.
Wow.
And if God could give me one wish in life, all I've ever really wanted was to marry you and be with you.
Wow. He was happy to see you when you came back around, and he'd been waiting.
I'm like, I can't be nobody's one wish.
Wow.
I'm a lot of things, in a bag of chips, but I can't be nobody's one wish. That's too much pressure.
Wow.
But I'm like, what do you say to that? I just want silent. Okay. I just want silent.
So you get married.
So
you move in.
I move in. We get married by that summer. That spring. And one night. Now, remember, we have to rekindle a relationship because I'm grown now and he's grown now.
Yep.
And
You're not
I'm
13
25.
and 14 anymore.
I'm 25 and he's 28, right?
Okay.
And so we got to get to know each other. But we had that nugget of love for each other already, and that can take you a long way. But it's not enough to sustain a marriage. And this is what I told him when I said, but why do you want to marry me? And he said, because you were my one wish. And I was like, I can't be nobody's one wish. And he said, but I love you. And I said, love alone is not enough to sustain a marriage.
Yeah.
I didn't know a lot, but I knew that.
You knew that much.
I knew it had to be more to it than that.
I said that love is like torque. It gets the car going. Horsepower sustains it. You got to get started and then you got to sustain it.
Exactly.
So
we get married. And then this one fateful night, he made a big mistake. He came... I worked for the telephone company. I was a long-distance telephone operator. Plugging it in, hello, long distance, that
Girl
whole
6.
thing. I was that girl. I was that girl trying to live that straight life, baby. But I always had clients. I was still gigging. I was still designing.
The fashion, this creative.
From 14.
No matter what the day job is, that's you know what they say, work is, this guy Miles Monroe, he said, work. Anybody can work, but your purpose that God put you here is like, there's work and then there's a job. A job is something you could do and put it down.
Absolutely.
Your work is the call and what God has put you here.
God created me to create beauty in the world in many forms.
Wow.
And that's what these hands do.
Wow.
They create beautiful things, whether it's a home, whether it's clothing, no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm going to create something beautiful with these hands.
No doubt.
Right? So I would come home. I worked 2 to 10, right?
Uh-huh.
He worked day shift.
Okay.
Because he was a school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And he played baseball and different sports and stuff, in the evenings. So this one evening, I get off work and my machine's already set up in the dining room and I'm about to get busy on a project for somebody, whatever.
Yep.
And he says to me, there ain't going to be no sewing going on in here tonight.
Whoa.
My antenna go all the way up. Hair stands up on the back of my neck.
Wow.
I got a idiosyncrasy, a tick. I don't like nobody telling me what to do.
You were
when
triggered.
I needed somebody to tell me what to do, there was nobody.
Yeah.
There was only God.
Yeah.
So I don't let anybody tell me what to do.
God
if
ordains
you
your
want
steps.
me, exactly. God always orders my steps. If you want me to do something and you're my husband, my mate, my friend, ask me to do it.
Yeah.
Or you have to have enough finesse.
Yeah. Finesse me into doing it. Don't try to force me. Don't push me. That don't work.
But don't order me.
Yeah, don't order.
Don't tell me what to do because I get ignorant with that. That don't work for me.
Yeah.
So he tells me, ain't no sewing going on in here tonight. That's why my neck is doing this because this is how I felt when he was saying that. Ain't no sewing going on in here tonight. And I said, say what? Say what? Say that again. For the people in the back. Say that again. He said there ain't no sewing
people
going on.
Cheap seats in here.
So ain't no sewing going on in here tonight. You're going to bed when I go to bed.
Wow.
I was like, oh, for real. Okay. The wheels are turning in my head. This Negro picks up.
And this was a Negro. Okay.
Yes, this was a brother.
Yeah.
This was a brother.
Yeah.
He picks up my sewing machine.
Oh, MG.
Takes it outside. I follow him. Locks it in the trunk of his car.
They all are fighting over the sewing machine.
Excuse me. I was like, you done fucked up now.
Oh, you done fucked up.
You done fucked up now. I say, no, we're not fighting over it. I'm just observing this.
Okay.
Because the wheels in my brain are
You hadn't
turning.
seen him do something like this, so you're thinking this.
No, and I'm deciding. I'm making a conscious decision on how I'm going to deal with this. Because one, you're not going to tell me what to do, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're telling me that. You're making me want to do the opposite.
The opposite, yeah.
So we get into this big argument about, me doing this and that at night and not going to bed. And I'm like, you for real? I said, do you realize that I've been doing this longer than I've been doing you?
Ooh.
And I'm going to do this after you?
After you're gone.
If there's an after you?
If there's a...
And he was like, I don't give a damn about any of that. Ain't no sewing going on in here tonight. I said, okay.
Right then and there.
Right then and there, took the ring off, tossed it to him across the room, and bounced. And bounced.
You just,
bounced. Got in my brand new Monte Carlo.
Oh, you were cashing checks at this point.
Baby.
Okay.
Got in my brand new Monte Carlo. Went to a friend's house, maybe his sister's house. I don't know where I went. It isn't nighttime. Stayed overnight. Next day, went back to the house. Got what few things that were mine that I needed, clothing, whatever, and broke up a bunch of dishes in the sink. And one of those, I created it, I'll break it. But that's all I did. I just had to get that energy off me. Drove my brand new car to the airport, took a flight to New York where I had other friends. Okay. And never looked back. Left the car at the airport.
Wow.
Never went back for the car, never went back for him, never went back.
And then you go to New York.
I go to New York, hang out with my people for a while, and I work my way back to LA.
Wow. And you come back to LA, you go back to Hermosa Beach?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't go, wait. I go to New York, and then I go to D.C. I hang out in D.C. for a while.
Moving around.
And yeah. I don't go directly back to L.A.
What's next career-wise?
Okay, so after Muhammad Ali, and then I find my way, when I do find my way back to L.A., by now my mom is working in the music industry.
Okay, so she's
by now my mom is
music.
working in the music industry.
Okay.
And then my younger brother, he's preteen, and I don't go back to Hermosa Beach because I need to make money.
Okay.
And the industry for wardrobe, fashion, costume, all of that is in LA.
Okay.
Is in LA.
Movies.
So yeah. So okay. I got a little change, and I got, his credit cards.
That's a G move right there.
My name's on it.
Yeah.
So I get myself set up.
No doubt.
I get myself set up, and I lock in, I plug into my people, and my mom introductions are made. And before I know it, I get offered a job doing costume for Gap Band. Charlie Wilson and the brothers.
Gap Band. And I've
Charlie
heard some of the Gap Band stories.
Oh, man, it was wild.
You're how old now?
By now, I'm like 20. I was 25, 20. I'm about 27.
Okay.
27 or so.
So somehow through relationship, you get, what is the job? What are they asking you to do?
Okay, so it was the first time, my first tour ever, the first time I went on tour. I was very intimidated because remember, I'm coming from a shy space, right?
Okay.
Well, I took that tour on purpose so I could, it was like therapy for me to get over being shy.
Growth opportunity.
Because they were wild. It was the wild, wild west with them. It was sex, drugs, and rock and roll with them. They were doing funk, but it was sex, drugs, and funk then.
Yeah.
So, and it was scary to me because I don't know this wild, wild entertainment stuff, right? But I want to do the costumes. So I figured if I can get through this tour with them, I'm ready for the entertainment industry.
How long was the tour?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know how many cities,
What cities your story?
like a summer fest kind of thing,
Yeah.
And by the time I came off of that tour, I was good to go.
You were a vet. You were
I was
ready.
good to go. I was good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you mentioned an incident where someone climbed over your window or something like that.
These people are still alive.
Okay, so we won't get into too much of that.
Yeah,
but
they're married now. I can't do it, Uncle Charlie. But anyhow.
Yeah. So you also worked with Luther Vandross in some capacity?
Yes.
Okay.
I designed a show for Broadway.
Okay.
First.
Yeah.
Called Don't Get God Started. That was the Giancarlo Esposito, B.B. Winans, Vanessa Bell Armstrong.
Okay.
Right?
Vanessa Bell Armstrong.
One of the producers for that show, one of the money guys for that show, was connected to Luther Vandross.
Okay.
So when our tour was wrapping up, it wasn't over. But he came to me and said, hey, Luther's wardrobe person is leaving.
Okay.
She's quitting. And they're in the middle of a tour.
Okay.
Are you interested? Can you come out and jump in?
Okay.
I was like, Luther? Hell yeah.
So again, it's one relationship leading to
all relationships.
All relationships.
And that's why you got to show up. You got to put your best foot forward. You got to smile. You can't burn bridges. Because all these relationships matter. I've never burned a bridge. Never burned a bridge.
And what was it the ask for you in this capacity for the Luther Vandross?
To do wardrobe and take care of his background singers. And he
dressed them.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is a big job because Luther spent thousands, and everybody knows it's ever seen a Luther concert from back in the day. He spent thousands and thousands of dollars on wardrobe.
Wow.
Maybe millions.
Wow.
Probably millions.
Okay.
And he took care of his people. The people that worked with Luther then worked with him until he died.
Wow.
Because he took care of them.
Uh-huh.
One Christmas, he bought every girl, every background singer, whether they were on stage or in the pit, full-length fur coats.
How many people are we talking about?
Enough.
Wow.
Enough.
Full-length fur coats.
Full-length fur coats.
Okay.
But that's how he took care of his people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he took care of his people. And I always respected that about him.
Amazing. And you're the only one doing this? You don't have a support system? You have other people working with you?
I don't remember.
Okay, but you're doing all that.
I'm maintaining.
Mm-hmm.
I'm maintaining his costumes for him. I'm doing costume maintenance, you know.
Okay.
Getting the girls dressed for each, you know, you got quick changes and all of that stuff, but I'm taking care of his costumes. I'm his wardrobe person.
Yeah. And after doing the Luther Vandross, at some point later, you end up also doing the Tupac
Pour a little
liquor video.
For Thug Life, yeah.
For Thug Life. And then your role in that is...
Well, I am the stylist across the board.
Stylist.
For the entire video. I am his personal stylist. And
Tupac.
Tupac, yes. And I style his guys for this. It's a club scene, but it's a club scene like in the 20s. It's like...
Yes, they did. It's like a roaring 20s.
It's Rat Pack. It's Sammy Davis Jr. and, you know, Frank Sinatra type vibe. So they got on tuxedos and so forth and so on. Great learning experience. He was an amazing, amazing young man. And that week that I worked with him, because I'd have to go to his apartment and do fittings.
The Tupac's apartment.
Yeah.
The whole thing is done in L.A.?
L.A.
Okay, shot in L.A., everything in locations in L.A.
Yeah.
So what's he like when you're going to his apartment and stuff like that?
He is amazing.
Okay.
He is so brilliant. Mm-hmm. He was so young, but he was so brilliant. He was so ahead of his time, you know, and his age. He was beyond his years. Yeah. And he was kind. He was kind. Let me tell you, the night before the video, you know, Tupac got arrested. The night before the video.
Really?
Yes, he got arrested because he went to buy some weed. Now, all these people around him should have went and got the weed.
Where's the weed guy? Come on,
he's the main guy.
You don't go out and cop your own weed.
But he was a regular guy. Okay. He wasn't sending somebody to do something that he wouldn't do.
Yeah.
But he got busted. So we all going to set in the morning, and they got to go get him, bail him out of jail.
For weed. Man, times have changed, huh?
Yes.
In L.A.
Yes.
Okay.
So they get him out of jail. We're all on set, like, you know, praying because all of this money is being spent, and the clock has already started running.
Ticking,
and nothing happen until he shows up, you know. But I get everybody ready, and he gets there, and he's like, let's go, you know.
He don't miss a beat. No, he even just came out of lockup, central booking. He ain't
slept
tripping.
all night. He ain't tripping. It's business as usual with him. And then we take a lunch. We do the first shots, and then we take a lunch break, and we got to go back and finish after lunch. For lunch, he looks and sees what they're having, and he was like, oh, this is not, who ordered this? This is not cool. So, you know, catering is there. And they were like, well, what would you like, sir? And he was like, I got it. And then he tells this person and this person to go get him some hot links and some chicken and some whatever. And they set up a barbecue pit pronto. And he gives me his tuxedo shirt and his tuxedo jacket. He pulls down his suspenders. He got on a tank undershirt, you know, and he cooks for everybody.
He cooked.
He's that dude.
Tupac started cooking because he didn't like the food that catering had.
He knew what he wanted. He knew what his guys liked, and he wanted to make sure that he fed his guys based on what he knew for them, what he wanted to offer them.
Wow.
He was kind. He was thoughtful. He was smart, you know. And I never forget, he had his own, you know, bus, you know.
The trailer, whatever they were called. Tour bus. Okay.
And so that's where he would get dressed and everything. So get on his tour bus to hang up his clothes and do this and do that.
Yeah.
And it's just like the smoke, the level of fog that
Come
you have
on,
to go
man.
through to get.
It's a chronic, man.
Yeah,
That's the Bombay.
Yeah, baby.
Oh man. So go ahead.
So the end of the story is literally the last time I saw him. He was the air condition was on because they was smoking their brains out, and he was taking a nap because he'd been in jail all night.
Yeah.
And he is like, I see him shivering. So he's just laying on top of the covers. You know, in the tour bus, the back bedroom is like a bunk.
Yeah.
I just pull the covers up over him, and he looks up, and I was like, it's just me. And I cover him up. I cover him up, and I walk out, and I say a prayer for him after, because I'm getting his clothes so he can to take the set, so he'll be ready. You know, so I'm going to press something or whatever, and I say a prayer for him. Because out of all these guys, hanger-ons, Thug Life, all these guys that are in the front, maybe 10 guys deep, nobody taking care of him. Your boy back here shivering in the cold. And I pull these covers up over him, and I say a prayer for him, God, please take care of him. And after that video, the next thing I hear about him, and I tell him, take care of yourself. Please.
What year?
Take care.
Yeah, we won't go to the year, but we could look that up.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. So I tell him, please take care of yourself. You're important. Please take care of yourself. And the next thing happens, I'm living in Vegas. He gets shot and killed in Vegas.
Vegas again.
Back to Vegas.
And he also he lived in somewhere up in the Bay Area at one point too. When he went with the Humpty Humps, he also had that connection too.
Yeah. Yeah, Tupac.
Amazing.
He was a sweetheart.
Amazing.
He was a sweetheart.
Let's segue a little bit because we could spend weeks,
probably
months
I've been around
talking
a while.
about you.
I've been around for a few minutes.
You've seen some sunrises and sunsets, as I like to say.
Yes, baby.
Your son.
Yes.
We can't. You're going back to Harrisburg. You got the stretch mode. You're thinking about him.
And let me tell you this. I always celebrated his birthday. For wherever he was in the world, and said prayers for him. And things came full circle.
Yeah.
My brother, RJ, that is passed on, was in the hospital in, what city was he in? I can't remember right now. But anyhow, not a city that I lived in. Yeah. And New Mexico. He was in New Mexico.
Yes, New Mexico.
So he was having open heart surgery. Yeah. And I fly down to be with him. But I got a email the night before that I didn't quite understand. And it was, I also, once there became an internet, I would do a query every year in case my son was ever looking for me. And I would do a different site every year.
Because you're trying to...
Yeah, I'm trying to connect the dots. I don't feel like I have the right, but in case he's looking.
He's looking.
You know?
You're raising the flag. You're raising
I'm here. I'm here. If you need me, I'm here.
The beacon is out here. We're here.
Absolutely.
And I think you put something on one of these sites in 2013 that he found or something like that.
I can't remember years and dates right now, but I get this email and it's relating to one of these sites and says, is this spam? Or did you put this query up? Okay. And I said, I absolutely put the query up. And I say my name and my information and all of that. I don't know what this is about. Yeah. I go to, my brother's in New Mexico. Okay. He's in New Mexico. So I go there and he's in a hospital bed. Okay. And I'm telling him, hey, you'll never guess what happened. He's about to go into surgery. And I said, you'll never guess what happened. I got this and that. And he was like, oh my God, I bet it's your son. I was like, it didn't even cross my mind. I didn't know what it was about, you know? And I'm like, what? He was like, you got to answer it. Wow. I'm telling you, it's your son. And I'm like, okay.
And you're doing this for years without any response. You have no idea you'll ever get reconnected with him.
Nothing.
He'll never see this.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. This isn't. I'm not going to cry.
Yeah, it's powerful.
This isn't even a dream I can dream. I can't dream this dream, you know? Or I won't let myself because I've given up my parental rights.
You're still looking at the reminders on a daily basis.
Every day it's in my heart and my soul, and I still celebrate him every year, no matter what, you know? Because he's still a part of me, even if he's not in my life. So I tell my brother this. So I have a new phone. I don't know how to use this new phone. And so he's got an iPad. And he shows me, I'll get this for you. I'll pull it up on my iPad. You got to respond now. So I do.
He's doing this like when he's about to go get surgery.
He's about to go into surgery.
About to go in.
He's about to go into surgery. The nurses are coming to prep him. And he tells them, wait a minute, I got to help my sister with something. So he pulls up the page. He sets it up so that I can respond.
Wow.
And I respond and say, yes. Well, I get another message back. By the time I tell my brother, there's another message, and I read him the other message.
You respond to the spam message, which triggered another message from him. So now he knows it's legit.
This is the second message, and he's saying to me that he is very vulnerable, and could I please answer in a timely manner? And he gives me his stats. When he was born, where he was born, and it's all my stuff. It's the hospital I had him in.
This is validation that this is
something real.
This is real.
This is something real.
Yeah.
And now my brother has given me his iPad, and they pushed him off the surgery, and I'm on this iPad, and I'm like Godsmacked. I'm like, oh my God, this is my kid. This is my son. So I call my girlfriend Trina, and I say to her, I need you to go. And he gives me a website to go to because he puts up a page on Facebook.
Who puts up the page?
My son.
Your son puts up a page. So while you're trying to think about he's been out there trying to...
He's living in my heart, but I've always been living in his heart. So he puts up a page on Facebook, and it's an adoptees page. I think it's called Where I'm From or something like that. And so he's directing me to this page for verification that he is who he says he is.
Okay.
And I'm saying, if I see you, I'll know if I am yours and you're mine. I'll know immediately.
But you said you didn't look at him when
I
you
didn't. But instincts, I'm his
Your
mom.
It doesn't. You don't need to.
I'm his mother. Yeah. A mother knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I call my best friend, Trina. And she's been on this journey with me since day one, since I've known her.
Good to have a support system.
Find, she's always wanted to do these crazy things to help me find my son. Always a support in that way. Yeah, she's a mom. Okay. So I call her because I don't want to get off this iPad to check this
website.
Facebook page. This Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
So I call her and I say, I need you to, she said, what's going on? Why are you crying? I was like, I can't tell you, but I'm in the hospital and I'm not even supposed, there's no electronics
no
in that
phones. Area.
Yeah, I am in ICU.
It's a long mission, so you're rule breaking.
I am in a corner. I am crouched down and I'm whispering to her, I think I found my son. I need you to go to this Facebook page and look this up. And because he gives me a Facebook page that he's done this query on.
And you give it to Trina.
And I give it to Trina. She goes to this Facebook page and I'm crouched down in the corner in the ICU with the phone to my ear that I'm not supposed to be on.
Yeah.
She starts screaming, he's yours.
So she goes and looks and confirms.
But she sees him and he looks like my brother that's going into surgery. A vanilla version of my brother.
No doubt.
So she starts screaming and she's crying and I'm crying
Yeah.
and now he's waiting for me to respond.
A caramel version. Okay. So you're waiting now for him to respond.
Well, he's waiting for me to respond. He's giving me visuals to confirm that he is who he says he is.
And he's how old at this time? He's
44.
grown.
He's 44.
Okay.
He's 44. And I'm whispering because I'm not supposed to be on my phone. And she's crying. I'm crying. And she's telling me he's yours. He looks just like your brother.
Oh.
And I then now have to, send him a message back, email him a message back, tell him I'm at the hospital and my brother's about to go into surgery and I will contact him shortly.
Okay.
And he gives me all his information, gives me his phone number and everything. So now they wheel my brother into surgery. They tell me that he's not going to be out for several hours.
Okay.
And I say, okay. So now I'm driving back to my brother's house or his friend's house where he was staying. And I can't feel my feet on the ground. I'm driving, but I can't feel my feet on the pedal. I am so out of body.
Yeah.
I can't believe that God loves me this much.
It's 45 years in the making.
44. I can't believe that God loves me this much. That he's going to come full circle and give me my kid back.
Always on time again.
He's a full-grown man, but he's still my kid. So I get back to my brother's friend's house where I'm staying, and it's cold outside. And I go in the house, but something about their house is a lot of cinder blocks, so I don't get a signal. So I go out and sit in the car and I call him. And he was like, hi. And I say, hi.
Wow.
I said, I have so many questions, but you waited this long for me. I will hold whatever I have. And you ask me anything you want. There's nothing off the table. You ask me anything you want. I won't be offended by anything. So we talk for,
You're not
an
going to
hour.
hold your hand right now just to touch it, transfer some energy.
Thank you.
Okay.
These are tears of joy because this is the best day of my life.
Oh my goodness.
This is 44 years later.
Wow.
And this is God's affirmation that I did the right thing. When everybody told me I was horrible, black girls don't give up their kids for adoption. You give it to the neighbor. You give it to your auntie, your grandma. I didn't have any of that. So I couldn't do that. But anyhow, we talk for a good, over an hour. But
timeless conversation. At this point, it doesn't even matter. Time stops. Yeah.
But I got to go back to the hospital because my brother is having open heart surgery. He's having a triple bypass. I got to go back to the hospital. And I got to drive. I got to plant my feet on the ground.
Maybe you could just teleport and get back there if it was possible.
I don't remember driving back there.
Yeah, no.
I don't remember driving back there, but this is how my son and I reunite after all those years because I was faithful to God's word. I did what he told me to do and not what everybody else told me to do. My dad at the time says, dogs don't even give up their kids. Everybody keeps their kids. How dare you give up your kid for adoption? I took a lot of flack, but I was like, but it's my kid. I want the best life for him. You didn't raise me, but a loving family wants to raise him and care for him and love him. And I couldn't do that for myself. My grandmother had already died. I had no support system. My mom didn't raise me. My grandmother raised me. Who's going to raise my kid? I need to know that he is safe and secure and loved.
And that ended up being the outcome.
Yes.
And now his picture's on your wall. You've been to North Carolina. His mom and you are
the greatest
have
love,
a relationship
one of the greatest
now.
loves of my life and in my life. And I have sat at some big tables I have done some great things.
Yes.
I have been all over the world.
All over.
I have an A-list plus clientele list that anybody would die for. But that is the greatest thing I ever did.
You've interacted with Tupac and Muhammad Ali personally. That's like
Muhammad Ali and Tupac do not compare to my son.
And it doesn't even.
No, my son's name is Timothy Shutt. And he is the greatest thing I have ever done my entire life.
And you have a relationship with his mom, though. You have a new family.
Listen. So he comes to see me within 3 weeks. He's on the road.
Whoa.
You know, because he does this thing with go-karts and racing.
He built the suspension for the
suspension systems and kids and all this great stuff. And we talk almost every day until within 10 days, he's in Vegas.
Wow.
Sitting across from me. And we're just staring at each other. You know, because
touching each other.
Because it's like we both dreamed. I couldn't dream a dream this big. I didn't know if it was possible. I was willing to see him from across the room at least one time. I didn't care if I saw him face to face and he hated my guts. But he never felt that. The bonding that we did when he was in my stomach. Remember I told you, I read to him. I did all these cool things that I didn't know what I was doing. Some woo-woo stuff. But it stuck. Because he had love for me.
Wow.
He didn't care who I was or what I was. I was his mother.
And it's interesting you said that he has another adopted brother that didn't have the same journey, that wasn't trying to find his
he wasn't his
parents.
his other adopted brother was not trying to find his adopted family.
And didn't have any desire to.
No, and he also tried to deter him from it. Like, why do you want to do that? I don't know if that's a good idea, blah, blah, blah. So, no, it was just...
God.
You know, we were just connected soul to soul, and we were always supposed to be together. And it was supposed to go down exactly the way it went down. Exactly the way it went down.
Everything happened according to God's plan.
It was divine.
Divine.
It was divine.
It always is.
It was divine. And we have an incredible relationship.
You talked to him the day before we got to the studio to do something. I was like, what time are you going to be there? Like, oh, my son. Let me call you back, my son. I'm talking to my son. And I told Billian, I said, she's talking to her son. And I've been sharing some of the stories with her. She was like, wow, like that's powerful.
Yeah. I was just texting with him today. And now his adopted mom... And she and I have this love fest for one another.
Oh,
she just visited me. She's 80-some years old, and she just visited me this year.
Powerful.
And one of his sisters came, and we had an amazing time. And I have nothing but love for her.
And he has children?
Yes.
So you're a grand.
I am a great grandmother.
Great grandma.
I am a great grandmother.
Wow.
Yes.
But I don't want you to shed any more tears.
Those are tears of joy. Those are earned tears.
My goodness.
You know, because that's just how good God is. And for those who believe.
Yes.
You got to believe in something higher than yourself. I don't care what you call it.
Greater than yourself.
I don't care if it's Allah for you or Jehovah. Does not matter.
Yahweh.
But if you believe in something higher than yourself, miracles, divinity happens in our lives. This was divine.
Most definitely.
And I did what I was instructed to do. And I did not listen to adults. I did not wait. I did not depend on adults to tell me what to do because they were too busy ridiculing me to give me direction. So I leaned heavily into the God that I knew. And he ordered my steps.
Wow.
And I had no regrets. From the day I gave him up for adoption to today, I have had no regrets because I wasn't thinking about what I needed. Everybody was thinking about, the adults were thinking about themselves.
And their ego and their reputation.
But what about this child that I'm bringing to this world? I want him to have the best opportunity at the best life. I didn't give him up because I didn't love him or didn't want him. That I didn't have the privilege of thinking about myself.
Yeah.
I needed to think about the life of this child.
Let me ask you something powerful.
Yes, what?
On the heels of that.
What?
having lived and endured and been through so much from so early,
Yeah.
how, as an elder, a griot, how do we get people who haven't even been through a fraction of what you've been through to stay in that space of forgiveness and grace? And I guess it goes back to God again. If you don't have that fiber in you, I mean, how do we get someone?
It gets back
you always
to,
have time for your friends. You threw a party and told people not to bring anything. You gave the gifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people aren't really moving like that.
Because
you know?
I guess because I was given so much grace at a young age, and to see God, how God has moved in my life, and how He brought that hardest, most difficult time in my life where I thought I wanted to die.
Full circle.
How He brought it full circle and said, "I'll never leave you and I'll never forsake you." And He didn't. And the proof was in the pudding. When now my son is looking for me.
Yes.
My heart was always looking for Him.
Yes.
But I didn't think I had the right to search. Because He had a life and He had a family. I didn't think I had the right to do that, to intrude. But He was seeking me.
Seeking you.
And I was there. God kept me. I could have been dead by the time that He was looking for me. Actually, His father died before He found me.
Yes.
His father died before He found me. So, you know,
it's all vibrational frequency and resonance.
You got to believe in something greater than yourself.
Have to believe. You got to
I
believe.
think you have to believe in something greater than yourself. And I am a living testimony of believing in something greater than myself, because that's all I had was God. I call it God. And I leaned in heavy to God. Yeah. And I trusted His will and His way for my life and another life. And He rewarded me in kind.
Wow. And that's how you go about, how you interact with other people, with, you know.
I learned at God's knee at an early age how to move in this world.
Touch the hem of His garment.
There you go.
Wow.
At an early age. I'm a living testimony that there is something greater
That's why
than myself.
Here doing this, because some people need to hear this to think like, this is what I'm faced with right now. Don't pack it in. Sit down, meditate, pray.
Yeah, how you think you got here? You got to give it up to something that which created you. And that which created you is greater than your parents.
Greater.
You know?
Greater.
Yeah.
And you trust that same direction in your professional life, in your personal life. You're here in Vegas now doing.
I'm a living testimony.
You're not worried about where the next gig. You've established yourself, because every time you're faced with something, you lean into God.
I lean in. I learned at an early age that there was something greater than me that moved through me, you know, and He said He never leave us and He never forsake us. He didn't forsake me.
You had that outfit in your home studio with the little top and what do you call the little things that makes it crumple? You call it Shaffer. The little strings you put on the side of it that you did for your friend who is who you met from Vanessa Bell
Armstrong?
Yeah, that outfit you have
Vanessa.
In the studio, you did that for her. So these connections are still together.
Oh, yeah.
From
God has blessed me
100 years ago.
exponentially. But here's the thing. If I don't give my son up for adoption, and Joyce Shutt doesn't raise my son, I don't get to go off and have this life that God planned for me.
Wow.
I don't get to be a fashion designer. You know what I mean? I don't get to travel the world. There's no Luther Vandross. There's no Tupac. There's no Gladys Knight. There's no Muhammad Ali. There's none of this.
No meeting Oprah at the Luther Vandross thing.
No Oprah, no nothing.
Yeah.
None of that is in the future for me if I am not obedient to God, who is guiding me and telling me what to do.
Regardless of what you're faced with.
No matter what the surroundings.
Soul-Jah again.
Because the thing is that I did not cry out to my mother, who was defaming me and cursing me. I don't cry out to my friends
Your
because they don't
peers.
know more than they don't
And
know.
oftentimes they don't have the capacity.
They don't know more than me because we're all equals.
Mm-hmm.
I do what my grandmother taught me to do was to pray.
Mm-hmm.
I cry out to my God
Yeah.
and ask for help and deliverance. What do I do, God?
Yes.
I made these moves based on what God told me to do,
Yeah.
not what any human being told me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew my strength based on my faith.
Wow. I told Belinda this morning, it says that your community, your village, your support system, they don't have to look like you. They don't have to be the same race as you. You just have to have the same vibrational frequency and resonance.
That part.
And it transcends race, ethnicity, sex, everything like that. You have a network of people now that you're there for, they're there for you, but you've probably had to tweak and identify and move away from certain people along the way.
Absolutely. Everybody ain't for you. You know
And
what
everybody
I mean?
that come with you won't go with you.
No.
I've had to drop some people, drop them off along the way. I'm sure you probably had to
Exactly.
just,
Exactly.
not even telling them that you're having to do that because you're like, well, we're not,
Exactly. And, listen, I just praise God and thank God for my
Every
whole
day.
life. For my whole life.
Your whole life.
I have been blessed exponentially. And, I'm a believer through and through. And, my life, I'm a walking miracle.
A walking miracle.
Because I could have crumbled. When my partner,
at any time in all of these different interactions, you could have packed it in.
But I could have crumbled at 16. I could have jumped off the bridge into the Susquehanna River at 16 because I didn't know what I was going to do and how I was going to get through this. But I cried out to God then. He was faithful to me then, and he has been faithful to me every step of the way.
And still give you enough capacity to be able to. I've never seen you down. You're always positive. You'll call and check on me and say, hey. And oftentimes, again, it's a time when I need it.
Right.
And to have this moment now that we can have a conversation like this and share it with someone else who could maybe relate or find something that they may be dealing with and said, man, look what this woman's been through and she keeps a smile.
I
she
just
keeps
think you
positive
have
energy.
to believe in something greater than yourself.
Yes.
I don't care
don't
what
live
you
for
call
yourself.
it.
Don't do anything for yourself.
I don't care what you call it.
Yeah.
But your belief system has to be based on something greater than yourself. We didn't get ourselves here.
No.
There's embryo and there's all this other magic.
It's 1 billion out of 1 out of a billion sperm have to make that trek to even create you. You're already a miracle at
we're
birth.
already exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
We could talk for weeks, months, and days.
Absolutely,
we'll probably have to do some kind of part 2. As we build some community here with this Global Soul-Jah podcast.
I'm here for you, and I'm honored to be your first guest.
Yeah, I told Tone, I'm like, if I get you on second, you have touch you to pull it. You tell her your story from another perspective.
I'm honored to be able to tell my story because there's some extensions of this story.
My God.
There's a book. There's a movie. There's a Netflix series.
Somewhat, yeah.
There's much to tell because if I can be a bright light, for any one person that's gone through any portion of my journey, any portion of anything that I said today, whether it's my design career, whether it's my son, family, all of the things, life is a journey.
It is.
And you have to believe in something greater than yourself. We didn't get ourselves here. So we're not really the ones that are keeping ourselves here.
It's the old African proverb.
That's a whole other story.
You want to go fast, go by yourself. You want to go far, you need a community.
Absolutely.
You need a network.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. It's been a long time coming.
I know.
It took you to light a fire behind my butt to get to this point. And how did I get to you?
Man, we met on an airplane. I sat next to you or you sat next to me on an airplane.
Of all the seats on the plane.
Many moons ago.
Many moons
ago.
I put on my SoundCloud, you listen to some music, then
I don't even know how we first start to talk because I don't always talk to people on a plane.
Yeah,
sometimes I just get in a zone and I take my nap.
But that's God again, putting the people with the same vibrational frequency, same positive vibe, and same resonance in the same place at the same time. And for us to have the confidence in ourselves to pick up the connection and to nurture it over all this time.
And this is many years. You and I, this is many years of conversations, you know, and going deeper and deeper each time till we got
We went to the Bronx and we went to my buddy who's an artist, Jay, and he was doing that painting for my ex-girlfriend at the time, a portrait, and we saw all the stuff that he's done. I'm like, this guy is like amazing. He takes another creative. So thank you. God bless you. Well, I'm proud to have you in my tribe, in my community.
Likewise.
And we'll keep this message.
And much success. Keep the soul in it.
Definitely.
You know, keep
the
it
soul,
personal.
God, Soul-Jah, soul and God.
Yeah.
That's the connection.
Keep the soul in it because you're asking all the right questions and you know enough people that are interesting that have something to offer. And
Most
in this
definitely.
world right now, we need offerings that are meaningful and that are light. You know what I mean? And there's enough darkness to go around.
Yeah, my grandma used to say, you cast your bread on the water, it comes back tenfold. But the modern times, most people think, what's in it for me? What can I get? Even when I was working on that Conscious clothing line, I was trying to do those samples from China, and they were asking me these questions about how much GSM, and I was like, what the hell is GSM? And I was hesitant to come to you, even though you're in my community and I'm close. I was like, do I even go to her and like ask for help with this? But that's the other thing. We have to humble ourselves and says, let me reach out to someone else that can help me with this and be okay asking for help.
Right.
And then you were like, oh, that's grams per square meter. And then you did your thing. So thank you. Hopefully we'll probably need to have another one. We can get into some more of this stuff because I want other people, not just the positive side, but someone else who may say, oh, okay, I could connect with her and I could share some of that and maybe access a news forum or something like that. We'll continue this, sis.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My sister. You always call my brother. Thank you, my sister.
You're welcome.
God bless you. God bless anyone who's watching this, who needs this message. We'll get it out there and we'll rinse and repeat it.
Absolutely.
Awesome.